We're going to review a couple of videos, and we're going to be reviewing them in good faith, showing you the hypocrisy, showing you the hate against FBA is crazy, right? Hey, salutes to everybody in the house, man. The phone lines will be open all night in case you would like to debate or call in, something like that. We welcome it. Salutes to all the channel members. What we got going on right now, Somalians, right? Somalians are blaming FBA. Salutes everybody. Somalians are blaming FBA for all of their problems. And now I know a lot of people gonna say this is divisive, but I just want y'all to think of something real quick. There's no other group of people on earth that everyone target. And when that group of people defend themselves, we say it's divisive. That don't happen. We even got a military in America. And no one cares if America defend itself. And America defend itself in some of the harshest ways. We let our enemies know not to play with us. It's amazing that everyone have militaries and powerful armies to defend their flags and nations. And we just a group of people we don't even have an armed military. We just delineate. We at the beginning of building our own, something everyone else got. And people are so scared of it. And what's crazy is we don't even own not one military. And it's like they fear us more than the people with the military. It's crazy. But right now you got a bunch of Somalians, right? These Somalians, I want you to hear, well, somebody sent me this. This is a Muslim, a Somalian Muslim, supposedly coming out the FBA. Let's check it out.
Yeah, who are paid to women.
This was
OGTV 45 tapping in. Now, I was told, as a Muslim, I should not be up here advocating for foundational Black Americans' reparations or our culture and our lineage being preserved and respected. As a Muslim, I should be up here advocating for the Muslims who are threatened with deportation by the United States government. Well, here is why I'm not.
Most of the people that we meet, especially African Americans, they don't even know their fathers.
And this is why FBA is so important, because you have Black people who are Muslims, Christians. They're from all different foreign faiths, but they're standing on FBA first. That's right. And what's so dangerous about FBA is that this particular group of people that we call the Black Negro and American have been so divided up in his own land for so long by different ideologies, different foreign concepts, because he have no identity. And what the Black man and Black woman, what the foundational Black man and Black woman in America is doing right now, they're saying, listen, we may not know who we were, but we're gonna define who we are right now. That's right. And everyone that ain't under that umbrella, you fall to the wayside. Now, everyone get to delineate and claim to be us at the same time. And those days are over with. The hurt dogs will cry. And I have something to say. Salutes to all of the FBA brothers who may come from different foreign faiths, but you still put FBA above everything. All right? Let's go ahead and play the video.
They don't even know their fathers. It was all of them, or most of them, were the product of one night stand.
So he just called all of our mothers some 304s.
Right.
Don't worry about it. I'm gonna get on their mothers.
One night stand.
And I want to be clear. He's not talking about slavery. He's not talking about what we went through on the plantations under the Pilgrim or the Small Hats or the YT man. He's simply talking about black women coming up in the hood, practicing frivolous, promiscuous behavior. So this is a stereotype. I want to take this back to the jump. This is crazy.
OGTV 45 tapping in. Now, I was told, as a Muslim, I should not be up here advocating for foundational black Americans' reparations or our culture and our lineage being preserved and respected. As a Muslim, I should be up here advocating for the Muslims who are threatened with deportation by the United States government. Well, here is why I'm not.
Most of the people that we meet, especially African Americans, they don't even know their fathers. They don't even know their fathers. It was all of them, most of them were the product of one night stand.
So he just called all of our mothers some 304s. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna get on their mothers.
One night stand. They will tell you, I don't know my father. Well, who named you? Whose name are you carrying? Well, my mother chose his name for me. I don't know. Is that what we want for our ummah?
That clip you just saw is why I'm not only in support of these Somalian Muslim immigrants being deported, I am celebrating them being deported.
Okay.
Now I have three options here. I can ask that Allah forgive him for his ignorance and be merciful on him. Or I could wish the curse of Allah be upon him for insulting all of our mothers like that, to say that we all come from one night stands. That's a disrespect and insult to our mothers. I could wish the curse of Allah on him for that. Or I could go with the third option, which is to expose the hypocrisy in his statement and prove that he is projecting and that the Somalians are the ones who don't know who their daddy is, if anything. And deep down inside, I actually feel bad for wanting the women to have to go back over there with y'all sick, twisted, demented little asses, because I know how y'all are with them. But when they're talking like this right here, they got to take their ass back too.
Somalis are definitely being targeted, being scapegoated. I don't know when America started caring about fraud. What I know from America is if you are rich and powerful and white, yeah, your claim to fame is fraud. The fact that you guys are upset that Somalis are doing it is kind of weird. Some Somalis did it, okay? Well, if I benefited from that money, I would say, yeah, and I had a good time. But I didn't. I still go to work every other goddamn day, bitch. The fuck? What's that got to do with me? I've never seen somebody being like, ooh, all Somali people. Yeah, rich people are mostly white men, okay? White men and women, and we all know that they pillaged the planet, right? And that's how they got their money, but I am supposed to feel bad because my people finally decided to get themselves involved in white people business? No, steal more and send me some, please.
During the Somali Civil War, 1991 throughout the 90s, multiple UN, Human Rights Watch, and Amnesty reports documented widespread R-word, countless cases of S violence. Women and girls in IDP camps were frequently targeted for SA, often when gathering water, firewood, or moving between camps. Poor babies. The justice system was largely non-functional. Victims often could not identify perpetrators due to mass, mixed militias, or nighttime attacks, leading UN investigators to attribute many cases simply to armed men or militias without specific group names. They don't even have names to call y'all daddies.
And not only that, they ain't even fighting for their country. They fighting for their right to terrorize their own people. That's right. This is crazy. We fight for our right to get our shit back. That's crazy.
They call y'all daddies armed men and militia. That is what they call fathers in Somalia. Armed men and militia. That's a whole generation, y'all, starting from 1991. So that's like y'all mama's age. The women in their late 40s, early 50s, that's y'all mothers. This was what was going on during their time. The women in Somalia were being taken advantage of at an unrealistic rate. You pieces of shit been doing that to them women over there since 1990. He's still doing it today.
2 days ago, these two young women were allegedly ganged by between 25 to 30. These are the allegations right now, but they are close to 30 men.
But let's take it back to that civil war y'all had in the early 90s before we had.
And this is important because it's a good example of how the Somalians are over here following the bandwagon of let's talk bad and undermine FBA. Right? and let's come over here being critical of these people like everyone else. And the crazy thing, everyone thinks, okay, we can always talk crap about them, no matter how bad our shit is, because they're the lowest of the low. But see, what they realize is everything they saying about us is just a stereotype and stigma that's put out there by the YT man. But everything they saying about us is actually true for themselves. Like as far as being lazy, well, it's very lazy to run from your own land, first of all, to come to a foreign land to try to do something you couldn't do at home. You couldn't come over here and call us lazy, because we're in our homeland making it work, standing up, fighting, and all of that. That's right. Let's put that on the table. But also when it comes to judging the family standard and just the mother, the father aspect, the household aspect, when it comes to Somalians versus foundational Black Americans, I'm going to tell you something right now. I really can't get jiggy with FBAs who are Muslims, Catholics, and they're all of these foreign faiths, right? And this gonna sound very atheistic, but I swear I'm not an atheist. I know that there's a creator. I want y'all to think about this. We don't know our spiritual system that we had before we were colonized, okay? And I do have some knowledge of it. We didn't really have sky daddies or entities that we looked up to in the sky and prayed to. We tapped into our DNA and we tapped into our ancestry, and we basically talked to our dead loved ones. We didn't pray to foreign gods. For example, this black brother is praying to a Middle Eastern deity, yet he's physically delineating. I want you to think about this, what I'm telling you for a second. Is very important. It's levels to this FBA shit. That's right. When I say that I'm a far right FBA guy, that means I've delineated in all ways, mentally, physically, and spiritually. I'm not attached to nothing but my indigenous DNA and my indigenous ancestry. That's right. There is no foreign diet that I'm partaking in, spiritually, musically, none of that. I rather listen to trap, drug, gangster music before I listen to foreign music. That's right. Just cause it's mine. And I can tap into the frequency and vibe of it, nigga. That's how much delineation I'm about. It's levels to this shit. I'm not an atheist. I pray to my ancestors, and I think about the people that died on this land for me. And I know that they spirit still can hear me from the other side. That's what I'm tapped into. So to all my brothers with this FBA shit, and y'all think y'all delineating, I'm just gonna let y'all know you got a long way to go, man. There's levels to it. You gotta give them people back they gods too. That's right. And tap into your DNA. What the fuck you praying to a Middle Eastern god for while telling them people to hold their own nuts? You think them people God gonna fuck with your FBA ass over his own people and you're delineating physically? Let's say there is a spiritual realm. Don't you want to be tapped into your ancestors versus the people you say you delineate from ancestors? You delineate from them physically, you got to do it spiritually too. Because once you disown them people, you can't go pray with them in their mosque. You can't be learning their language to read their Quran. You got to now start fully delineating and tapping into who you are. That's right. Tapping into who you are. Y'all ain't ready for it. There's levels to it, but it's a start, right? And I'm happy for that. But to you FBA brothers and sisters that's part of all these foreign faiths and foreign spiritual systems, you still ain't tapping into your ancestry right here. Is levels to tapping into your DNA, man. You ain't fully tapped in. That's what I'm telling you. When you fully tap in, you're going to be moving the way you're supposed to move. Your body, everything about you was made for the vibration of this land and the people that died on it. The anger that was in them slaves, the creativity, the passion, everything that was in the people that bled here. That's what you tapping into. That's what created hip hop, man. That's what they scared of. They want to take credit for that. You know what I'm saying? So
You had to go over there with the Black Hawk Down and see just how bad it really, really was. Unfortunately, the armed men and militias weren't the only ones who had their way with your mother. It's almost as if they put the word out how easy it was to get away with because other foreign nations began to come into Somalia and they as well began to take turns on your mothers. It was literally like an epidemic at the time. Like, you know, it was an international crisis. Like everybody around the world was just having their way with your mothers. Italian soldiers were accused of R and SA and other abuses against Somalian citizens. Allegations included S abuse of women and girls in or near peacekeeper-held areas. Italy conducted its own internal inquiries, but no full public declassified report was ever released. Academic analysis wrote that these incidents were treated as individual acts rather than systemic crimes, limiting international prosecution. Evidence included photographs and testimonies cited in Italian media and parliamentary discussions. Now, mind you, this is all going on at the same time. You got the armed men, the militias, the Italians, then you also had the Canadians and the Belgians.
All up in that Somalian stuff. And them Somalian women, you know. Hey, Silver, who is this? Sylvester, whatever your name is. The way that I'm running the show tonight, the call number is pinned. You can call in for smoke. If you don't choose to do that and you just want to type in the chat, and we just gonna block you. If you got smoke.
All up there running the train on your mamas at the same time. And you say our mothers gave it up on the first night? Y'all mothers got it on the first night, buddy. That's worst. Where are the children of all of those armed men and militias and Italians and Canadians and Belgians? Y'all was claiming it happened over there. There were charges brought up. All of the allegations couldn't be substantiated because like they said, the men were wearing masks. I know y'all didn't have the medical facilities to get DNA testing on every birth over a span of more than 2 decades. So in all reality, do y'all really know who y'all fathers are?
Okay, cool. We're going to come to this guy in a minute too. But let's talk about Somalia before we skip. After this, we're going to go over Austin Holloman video. I got one video to add to what this brother's saying because the whole point is you're trying to compare the way Somalians run their society and household with the way FBA run ours. Okay. Now, most FBA is from the Black Christian Church, which is a lot of monogamous relationships, traditional one husband, one wife, Adam and Eve type relationships. And for the most part, you have a stable Black family that is still a power force in America. But the problem to that is it has sold out just like everyone else. So yeah, the boule, the top richest people in our race is already in the bed with the enemy selling their people out. But it's not like we don't have a strong course, which is the claim. See, Somalians have a government. They have a top wealthy elite too who have sold them out, and way worse than the Boule have sold us out, apparently because they're coming over here. But I'll say this. When it comes to family structure, morality, the handling of women and kids, and just the tribe structure, I'm going to play a video right now to let you know what kind of sick foreign culture we dealing with. And this is going to go back and double down on my original point when I said FBAs shouldn't be participating in foreign spiritual systems, which is why black church FBAs, what do we see a lot? The P word. See, with the black church FBAs, anytime we participate in the enemy's spiritual system, it will serve him more than us. Look at the black church. Now, that's no different than Islam. The Somalians that are trying to compare themselves to the black social structure, which is mainly dominated by the Christian church, we got to keep in mind the main religion in Somalia is Islam, but it's not the type of Islam we may know. I'll just play this video because when it comes to the family structure, when we just saw the video with the receipts on how Somalian women are raped all the time, most of the men we see from Somalia, they don't know their daddy. Because the way their society is basically like ancient Greece, full of grape and just taking what you want. No moral code. And this video right here gonna give you a sneak peek into the spiritual system in Somalia, which is Islam. And if we can show you foul corruption within that, then that can speak to what the rest of the society is like, right? These are the high priests. Let's play this, because what this video is going to show is that Somalia banned child marriage. And when Somalia banned child marriage, there were a bunch of male-led protests with the men in Somalia raising hell that they can't be with little kids, 12-year-olds and stuff. Gross. But they got the nerve to talk about the way FBA govern our society. Let's play this.
Modi speaks. So when I talk about the religion of problem, okay, I'm talking about it because it is indeed the religion of problem. Anything it touches turns to decay. Any country it radically possesses depreciates immediately. And any human who follows its ways becomes dangerous both to themselves, to their loved ones, and to their society at large. Now, I want to shine a light on what is happening in Somalia today. I know Ilhan Omar and Mohammed Fateh don't want to talk about this. They don't want you to know about this evil going on in their native country. They don't. But I am here to expose the evil. Now, this evil is not just happening in the 99.9% Muslim populated Somalia. It is happening all over Africa, the Middle East, and other parts of the world where the religion of cancer has deeply taken root. This evil I'm going to be exposing in this video is even happening in the northern part of my country, Nigeria. The northern part, which has a Muslim majority, is deeply ridden with this particular evil. Now, what am I talking about? Well, recently, the Somalian government passed a bill to prohibit the marriage of children under the age of 18 after years and years of pressure from the United Nations and other Western countries, okay? The Somalian government finally caved in and decided to introduce a bill that would criminalize the marriage of children and also give Somalian citizens the right to freedom of religion. But something happened. Something happened. Barely 24 hours after the introduction of this bill, the Somalian people lost their minds, okay? They could not comprehend the idea of criminalizing 80-year-old men from marrying 9-year-old children. It was a taboo for the government to say that grandpas should not have any intercourse with minors who are not even old enough to be their great-granddaughters. So,
do you hear this? I thought it was 12. It's actually 9 years old. Oh, my God. You sick MFers. No one that has a society where they protest and outrage that they can't have relations with 9-year-olds could ever talk about FBA. and I'm not trying to make fun of people because Somalians are beautiful people. Everyone have a beautiful culture, but individuals, man, I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. It's crazy because I always wonder, like, why are Somalians' heads so big? Could it be the genetics of like some 60, 70-year-old guy mixing with a 12-year-old? When you mixing these crazy age gaps, will it kind of affect the baby? Maybe you get a big old head doing that. I don't know, man. It's a theory. But it's crazy, man. This is crazy.
So they took to the streets in protest, demanding that the bill should be rejected and overthrown. And to my greatest lack of surprise, it was overthrown. So this bill that would have brought about the emancipation of the Somalian girl child in Somalia was decisively crushed by the Somalian people. Because of course, Somalia is 99.9% Muslim and they are ruled by Sharia law. And their Sharia law says that it is their men's right to have intercourse with children once they are mature.
Don't that sound familiar? The small hats, their religious practice allowed them to do a lot of sick stuff, you know, in the form of circumcision to kids. Look it up. People who want to be P-words, they legalize it with a loophole called spiritual practice. How the hell is that religious? How is that spiritual? Come on now. This is allowing you to behave like the foreigner and like the barbarian. You can't be FBA and you're practicing the ideology of the pagan, of the barbarian, of the foreigner. And you know that this stuff ain't for FBA, because guess what? Whenever FBA get a hold to these foreign systems, we added them to our standard. Just like with the Bible. We don't practice the Bible the way that the foreigner who gave it to us practice it, because he condones slavery, raping, underage SEX, and all of that is condoned in the Bible. According to the Bible, you can do that. There ain't nothing wrong with it. According to FBA, we choose not to. See, that's us tapping into our DNA. That's us tapping into our ancient moral code and undermining the foreign ideologies. Even if we subscribe to it, we edit them and we make them more strict than what they are given to us by the foreigner. He still practiced them in antiquity, which is why he's still going around the world colonizing everything, and you're not, even though you got the same book. It shows you this ain't our stuff.
Mature children. What an oxymoron. Anyway, let's hear from the Somalians themselves.
shalay Soomaaliya waxay u ahayd maalin mugdiya, maalin madow ah. Shalay baarlamaankii wuxuu u soo saaray ama uu go'aan ku gaaray wax la aqbali kara ma aha. Annaga muslim baan nahay, boqolkiiba boqol muslim baan nahay. Soomaali ilaahay laga cabsado. Arrintan arrinka hortag u baahan waaye. Aabay culimadeena Soomaaliyeed, aabay culimadeena Soomaaliyeed. Waaris al-anbiyaa baa tihiin. Idinkaan hadal maqalnaa. Maxaa dhacay, maxaa loogu aamusan yahay arrintan? Aaway Sheekh Sumow, aaway ma noola miyaa? Aaway Sheekh Shaakir ma noola miyaa? War aaway culimadeena ilaahay ka cabsan. War ilaahay ka cabsan.
This man is pouring his heart out. Are we not fearful of Allah? We need to go back to Allah. See how, I'm going to tell you, whenever you want to find evil practice in its most evil form, look for it being carried out in the name of God. Wars have been carried out in God's name. Grape, underage, SEX. Look at these men. Instead of them telling the truth that they got a sick fetish, that these guys are sick, they shouldn't be wanting a 9-year-old. They can justify it by saying it's written in the book. It's written in the book. I can be attracted to an 8-year-old. Why? Because Allah ordained it. Whenever you want to see some sick stuff being practiced, it's gonna be sanctioned in the name of God, y'all. I am telling you, bro. This God have done more harm on the earth than good. The concept of God has done this earth more harm than good. Facts.
شيخ محمد معلن أبشر آبي شيخ نور على جمع علي آبي وريلاهي أنك عبسنا شيخ عبد الرزاق أشعري آبي وريلاهي أنك عبسنا وريلاهي أنك عبسنا.
But you know what's so sad about this? If you look at all of the political turmoil that Somalia has went through in the past 50 years, it ain't been this much protest and pushback for none of that. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? These people are damn near in a famine situation. These people got to run to America to survive. We're talking about a very poor country, Somalia. They have so many negative factors plaguing them right now, and they're not protesting about it. They're not an outcry about the poverty, the famine, the water shortage, the pollution problem in Somalia. Soon as they said, we're going to stop y'all from having relationships with kids, soon as they said, we're going to ban underage relationships, Somalia went crazy. These people didn't go that crazy when their water supply got polluted. Let me tell you something about these people. They are staying on that land going through some of the worst suffering. Their only option is to run and come to America. But when it comes down to us banning underage relationships, they will stand up on that land and fight and protest and look like we did during Jim Crow. Tell me that ain't crazy. It's damn near looking like the civil rights movement in Somalia. And they ain't marching for equal rights. They marching for the right for grown-ass men to be with 8-year-olds. And you got the nerve to compare your men to ours? Go sit your ass down somewhere, man. Go sit your ass down somewhere. We over here fighting and marching because niggas facing police brutality and shit. And you undermining what we doing. And y'all fighting and marching for sick shit. Man, go sit down for real, though.
dadkan waana rogayaan ilaahay aan ka cabsano war ilaahay aan ka cabsano ilaahay aan ka cabsano arrimahan laga hortago arrima la aqbali karo ma aha 18 sano gaalay qoran tahay caruurtooda ku qangaaraan annaga inaan ku raacno ma aha nabiga sallallahu alayhi wasallam khaalif al mushrikiin buu na faray inaan mushrikiinta khilaafnana la faray ilaahay aan ka cabsano war ilaahay aan ka cabsano war ilaahay aan ka cabsano.
This old man is literally crying because men as old as him, and even those older than him, are told by this Somalian bill that they can no longer abuse little female children. They are setting up cameras and weeping, calling on fellow Islamic scholars and sheikhs to demand that this bill be turned down. He directly cited the Quran, explaining.
And they ain't doing this for their water supply, air supply. Remember, the YT man, the white man is in their land having his way. Okay, go look it up. Why you think Somalians coming over here? But the Somalians on the land who choose to stay, they got a lot to stand up and fight for. But what do they choose to stand up and fight for? Let's play it. This here.
That it is an Islamic law to marry female children once they mature. And for them, that maturity can be as early as 8 or 9 years old, even 6 years old in cases of that of
oh my God,
their Prophet Muhammad. When we say that Islam is cancer, and when China says that it is a mental illness, none of us are lying. The fact that this man is shamelessly showing his disgusting face on camera, crying because Somalia wanted to introduce a law that will protect their female children is the most despicable thing I have ever witnessed in my life. My goodness. Here is another Islamic old man crying about the same thing.
sharcigan la leeyahay baarlamaanka federaalka ayaa ansixiyey oo caruurtu waxay ku qaan gaaraysaa 18 ama 18 sida u taqaano waxa waaye annaga haddaan nahay muslimiin muslimaad muuminiin mu'minaad nama khuseeyo waxaa dhacay annagu
I bet you when the word got out, they were like, you know they banning underage relationships. I bet you them cats was somewhere skinning a goat or something like, yeah, halamala, hashallah. Hey, Akbar, hey, what's up, man? You know they banning underage relationships. What? Wait, what? Stop, hey, put the plow down. I said put the fucking plow down. What you say? They ban what? Okay, call up the gang. This is, no, we can't, no, we can't do this. The fucking record stopped.
waxaan aaminsanahay shariicada islaamka oo warka Allah ah iyo warka nabi.
And this dude got an orange beard, y'all. Bro, what the hell? What in the heliosium?
Halka ayaa ansixiyey oo caruurtu waxay ku qaan gaaraysaa 18 ama 18 sida u taqaano waxa waaye annaga haddaan nahay muslimiin muslimaad muuminiin mu'minaad nama khuseeyo waxaa dhacay annagu waxaan aaminsanahay shariicada islaamka oo warka Allah ah iyo warka nabiga calayhi salaatu wasalaam taas ayaan aaminsanahay sharcigaanuna oo ah inay ciyaalku ku qaan gaarayaan 18 sano shariicada islaamka waa baalmarsan yahay wuu khilaafsan yahay waa ka soo horjeeda saa darteed annaga nama khuseeyo muslimiin muslimaad mu'miniin mu'minaad haddaan nahay nama khuseeyo.
And this is why social laws shouldn't be fashioned after religious codes. No society should base its moral code off of any religious system. Facts.
cod dheer ayaana ku sheegayaa inuusan na khuseyn maxaa dhacay shariicada islaamka ayuu ka soo horjeedaa maxaa dhacay shariicada islaamku waxay leedahay waxa waaye waxaa lagu qaangaarayaa
You know what the moral code should be based off of? Common sense.
calaamado la yidhaahdo calaamadaha qaangaarka gabadha haddii dhiig isku aragto iyadoo 9 sano 10 sano 11 sano jirto haddii dhiig caadi isku aragto way qaangaartay sidoo kale wiilka haddii uu riyoodo oo isku arka asigana waxa waaye biyo uu isku arka asigana wuu qaangaaray asoon wili yagoon wiliba 15 aan gaaray.
I wish a lot of people will share this video because a lot of individuals are still living in the dark. They don't know what is going on in the Islamic world, okay? All these Somalians.
Hey, where the smoke at? I want all the smoke, man. Where the smoke? Let's skip over to your boy Austin Holloman.
Told y'all before.
Because this here is a young dummy that's traveling the world. This young man traveling the world, and he's so out of touch with who the hell he is. You feel me? He's so out of touch with where his roots is. He's traveling the world, tapping into everyone else's culture. He forgot he had one. And guess what else? He think he's an African. How silly. How foolish. Play this for y'all.
But while you're busy being a Native American and not being related to Africa.
Yeah, they ran him out of Brazil. And the crazy thing about Austin, the passport brothers get banned from a lot of countries. The only country Austin can't get banned from is the one he ain't got no pride in. Tell me that ain't stupid.
Stupid.
Literally, he's a passport brother. They can stop him from traveling, period, from every country. Every country can say, man, we don't want you over here. America can't do that to him because this is his indigenous homeland and he ain't got no pride in it. That's crazy because every country he go to, them people respect their culture and their country. But every country a nigga like Austin go to, he's a gypsy tapping into their country, not knowing who the hell he is, making videos like this out of ignorance. And these people in these other countries know you just a slow nigger. That's right. Because they know who the hell you are, but you don't.
But while you're busy being a Native American and not being related to Africans at all, guess what? Making those kind of statements would exclude you from your own interest of wanting reparations. So you guys, let's go ahead and put this FBA discussion back on the board again. Because now that I'm doing historical videos, people seem to have a lot to say about anything that I say. And I'm used to that, but it seems like now everything is about me either being too young or I need to learn my history. I'm an internet scholar. So let's go ahead and get into what.
It's amazing how all the things they call him fit him accurately, but his ego won't let him see it. That's amazing.
What FBA is. I'm going to give it a fair assessment this time. FBA stands for Foundational Black Americans. It's a term popularized by Tariq Nasheed, and it refers to Black Americans who are descendants of American slavery.
Didn't he just say people was calling him an internet scholar? And what the fuck did he just do? Before he even started his video, he Googled what FBA is, or he chat GPT'd it. As a black man that's born in America, Austin Holloman, you shouldn't have to Google that shit. That's right. Foreigners don't even have to Google what FBA is. This man is so out of touch with his homeland, he had to Google what FBA is before he started his video. And before saying that, he just told y'all people accuses him of being an internet scholar.
Stupid.
And what did he do before he, not even a minute into the video, look, 52 seconds. And you got to go ahead and go to the internet for the most basic shit. What is FBA? So FBA is, bro, you are an internet scholar. You're out of touch and you're corny, man. You're corny, bro. Most passport bros are corny incels. Facts. They corny incels, man.
Scholar. So let's go ahead and get into what FBA is. I'm going to give it a fair assessment this time. FBA stands for Foundational Black Americans. It's a term popularized by Tariq Nasheed, and it refers to Black Americans who are descendants of American slavery, meaning their lineage traces back to Africans enslaved in the United States. So just reading that based off of...
You hear what he said? That's a lie. And that's why people telling you you're young and you're an internet scholar. That's right. Because that is not what FBA or ADOS mean. It's not specifying where you come from. It's only specifying can you trace your lineage back to slavery in America? Not all of the slaves were brought here on ships. Some of the slaves were already here. Most of them. So you don't have any movement in America that is just exclusive to the slaves that was brought over on ships. Because the original slaves of this land, there's a famous statement you need to remember. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. The people who can relate to that statement, that's who FBA is. If you are African and your people immigrated to America and became slaves at any point, then guess what? You can get reparations too, but that don't necessarily mean that you're FBA. Everybody don't got to go and get FBA under the same name. That's right. You got some people called Israel, Zionists, JEWS. They got reparations. They got them under their own name and their own plight. When you see groups galvanizing and delineating to go and get their reparations, you got to do that with your group. You can't get mad at the other groups that's coming together to get theirs, just like no one mad at the small hats. So if a person say, well, if you want your reparations, you got to claim Africa, that's a big-headed, spiky-headed, internet researching ass lie, Austin Holloman. That's an incel ass lie you telling. Because everyone that was a victim of slavery in America wasn't a foreigner. Now, if you are a foreigner and your people move here and you practice slavery, you can get reparations, but that don't mean you got to get it with us, nigga. Get with your group and y'all do what we doing. FBA is saying, look, these are the people that was on this land already and they went through slavery. That just shows you Austin Holloman don't know what the hell he talking about. He don't know what he talking about. Everybody keeps saying, in order for you to get reparations, you got to claim Africa. Bro, you think Africans got off slave ships and built the San Francisco City Hall? Man, let me show you some of these buildings that they said the slaves built. Let me show you some. Let me show y'all some real quick. Slaves came from Africa, right? And when they got off the ships, this is the shit that they built. Let me show y'all. Slaves got off slave ships and they came over here and they built shit like this. This is in Pittsburgh. These buildings you looking at are from the 1800s. Don't you know that America was just built in the early 1900s? It wasn't built. It was established by founding fathers. And the name suit them well because they didn't build nothing. They found an advanced utopia, an advanced civilization. And they're squatters. They call themselves pilgrims, but they're really squatters. These pilgrims was building wood houses. When they came over here, they saw big, crazy buildings that was made with architecture we still can't do today. Look, this is in America. This is ancient American architecture. They got y'all thinking that the indigenous people of America was some Indians talking about some woo. The indigenous Americans were stone workers. Look at them big Olmec heads and them pyramids in Southern America. Wasn't no Southern America and no Canada. All of this was just one empire, man. And you got this kind of architecture from Canada all the way to South America. Way before Pilgrims showed up. Colossal structures. Austin Holloman don't know nothing about this. He don't know nothing about the San Francisco. Look, this from Chicago World Fair. Look at the size of those columns, man. We can't build this shit today, y'all. The people who came over here and enslaved black people, they was building wooden shacks. It was stone castles in the background. We lost knowledge, man. There was an ancient advanced civilization on this continent. And it was our shit. It was indigenous people's shit. They took the patents, the technology and all that and brought it back out in the 70s and 80s as their shit. Even Nikola Tesla, none of that stuff was Tesla's. Nikola Tesla learned this from the indigenous people. There was a reset in the 1900s. There was a big cataclysm on this earth. Damn near the whole earth population was wiped out. The people that came out of there, they kept the technology from the old world and they started rebringing it out in the 1900s as new inventions. Everything from aluminum, don't you name it, Teflon, this is all old stuff. We're behind. Look at these buildings, man. This is in America. Look at this. Look at this right here. Look at this architecture. And the people that came to America, they weren't even working with stone. They was fucking lumberjacks telling stories about Paul Bunyan. They wasn't carving no stones. What the hell is Austin Holloman talking about? Some coming from some Africa. You don't see architecture like this in West Africa, dog. That's right. The people that was indigenous to this land, they called them the Nagas. Don't that sound like niggas? They call them the serpent people. Guess what? The serpent was a symbol of electricity. Guess what these people was famous for? Building an ancient green free energy utopia. It was called Grand Tartary. It was a network of advanced civilizations from America to Asia. Because I told y'all, the culture we see in early America, you can trace it back to Southeast Asia, to the Khmer Empire. And in the Khmer Empire, they had a very technological civilization called Angkor Wat that was ran by ancient black electric gurus. They was fucking gurus when it came to the ether and electromagnetism. They had built the fucking advanced society based upon frequency healing, sound healing. The acoustics in the buildings, when you walked in them, you didn't even need intercoms. You can whisper down hallways for miles and it'll carry because the acoustics. The buildings was so big, you got to ask yourself, you know that they had to have a heating and cooling system. You can't live in these big castles and freeze to death in the winter. These folks had advanced ways to cool these places and to warm them up, man. And we lost technology. It was so advanced, it's almost alien. Entire buildings functioning as a whole electromagnetic circuit board. Like if you look at these places from the top down, it look like you looking at a computer motherboard, because they literally created an entire electromagnetic network of functional dwellings. The building was a functioning part of an entire network grid of interconnected structures that was literally making a supercomputer, if you will. And I'm going to do videos to go into it. The people that call themselves pilgrims should call themselves squatters. They came over here and they used direct energy weapons to basically demolish damn near everybody. And listen, America was desolate. These are pictures from the 1900s. You don't even see people walking around downtown in broad day. Austin don't know what he's talking about, bro. Because the people, look at these people right here. They want you to think, right, that these white folks with this bucket right here built that structure in the background. And they were showing pictures like this to show them building early America. It's laughable. If you think, bro, it took 26 million bricks to build, what's that structure in I think it's in St. Louis. It's a mental asylum. And those mental asylums was never mental asylums. Okay? They was electromagnetic power plants that they rewrote the history and said, it's a crazy house to keep people from looking into it. That's another lecture. But the pilgrim on your oatmeal box, when he came to America, he saw these grand structures. What did he build? Wooden shacks. They showed pictures like this to show them supposedly like they got a lot of pictures where you'll see people standing around supposedly around these huge structures as if they're building them. They're not. They're cleaning up the rubbish that was left behind out the reset, and they're just reclaiming these huge, magnificent structures from an advanced civilization that was just decimated. So they deleted all this from history, but this is our history. Your history, FBA, is way deeper than anyone else telling you. And I'm gonna be going into it on my main channel. Yeah, it's way deeper, man. We ain't got no business claiming no African shit, because most of us ain't come over here on no ships. And the people that did, you're not FBA. Go get with your damn people. We ain't all got to get reparations together. Every man huddle up with their group and you go get yours, devise your plan to get your touchdown.
What that says, I would fit into that category. Now, at the same time, these same people that claim to be part of this FBA
What's up
stuff
with it, bro?
also say that they're Indians.
Yeah,
or you guys have heard me call it the Featherheads. They call it that as well. And they walk around and ride horses with feathers on top of their head. They also do that. FBA emphasizes cultural lineage, reparations, and separating the...
Do you see this dude reading from his damn Google on foundational Black Americans and what it is, and he's supposed to be one? Goofy. Just goofy with them big fish eyes, nigga.
Unique historical struggles of Black Americans from more recent Black immigrants. Basically creating a hierarchy. Let's talk about...
And he should have listened to his subs what they was telling him, because this shit is cringe.
About the gatekeeping blackness argument.
And look at this dude reflection in the background with him cringing his damn leg up with them. Let me show you this dude, bro. You is a young incel, little fool, man, who don't listen, who's corny. Look at your boy right here. You see his leg? Like, bro, what are your movements? They're weird. Look at here.
Basically creating a hierarchy. Let's talk about the gatekeeping blackness.
Like, what the fuck you did? You went full goddamn, like, the gatekeeping part. Like, you went full goddamn tippy-toe ballerina for the gatekeeping, nigga.
This argument, which is...
You see it right there? Your boy went full ballerina. Oh, yeah. I can't, yeah, bro.
One of the issues that I've had the entire time, and I'll tell you why. Many FBAs say non-FBA Black people steal the culture, hip-hop, slang, civil rights movements, while not contributing. So what they're basically saying is non-African, non-Black Americans, which could be somebody from Brazil, Africa, Colombia, Britain, not France, non-Black Americans, as long as they're Black, basically, but they're not in America, they basically steal our culture.
That ain't the argument. We don't say they. The ones that do, we specifically call them tethers, and if the shoe fit, wear it, man.
Now, if we want to put it in specific with Africans, I know exactly what y'all are talking about when y'all say that. I hear it all the time when I hear Africans use the word nigga, and we can just say that's part of our culture in the United States.
My bad.
Our culture. Now, if we want to put it in specific with Africans, I know exactly what y'all are talking about when y'all say that. I hear it all the time when I hear Africans use the word nigga, and we can just say that's part of our culture in the United States. Because we were the first ones to start saying that shit, from my understanding, in a casual way. We could say that's one way them taking some things, like when I was in South Africa, I seen some dudes.
But you're a very dumb dude, Austin. Because when you start talking about tethers and FBA and them taking from us but not contributing, and the first thing you bring up is the word nigga, you're a young dummy, bro. Stupid. And you should stay out of certain conversations for your own good. Your people was telling you right, bro, this is cringe.
Sagging pants and wearing snapbacks.
Like, this is damn near an insult. You think we care about Africans sagging and saying nigga? Bro, this seemed like some agent shit. This is crazy. What we talking about is way more deeper than that. We talking about them making money, identifying as us, while undermining us every chance they get. Benefiting in any way by acting like they're one of us, while at the same time trying to destroy us. He think we talking about, oh man, look at them sagging and saying nigga. Bro, you need to quit talking about this conversation, Austin. It's cringe, bro, seriously.
Back. That's some stuff that we started, right? But there's also stuff that we got from them. I mean, they are African.
Corny. So what they got from us was sagging, saying nigga. Now let's hear what we got from them. He about to say a bunch of young, dumb. Again, listen to people when they talk. Your subscribers ain't gonna lead you wrong, bro. Ego will make you say, I ain't listening to my subs, even though they told you and I see now. But see, think about a corporation that says, I ain't listening to my customers. Ego will make them slowly lose their business. And I hope that ain't gonna be your fate. Yeah.
I'm sorry. If you don't mind me asking, what's his argument, man?
He making it. I ain't finna give him shit. I'm gonna play the video, and what he say, I'm gonna mop the floor with it. He gonna make it though. I'll replay it if you want me to take it back at some point. Yeah.
Nah, he good. I was just,
because I ain't gonna try to re-say that. I'm gonna play that shit because I don't want nobody to say I'm putting that in his mouth. You got it.
Right. Yeah. Nah, because I think that so many crazy arguments be coming out of this shit because I've been hearing like Sarah said all these going in on LBA and then like LBA going in on the Pan-Africans. Man, we got so much other shit, when it comes to situations that we got going on right now. We ain't talking about stopping this New World Order agenda, bro, or trying to counter block that shit. We ain't talking about nothing. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of shit be like dead in the water type shit. You know what I'm saying? We need to be right now. We got the closest thing that's just like this Jizab situation that we was just in. Now it's the ID thing. So a lot of people don't look at it like it's nothing. But once everybody take the real ID, which people really pushing back on it. But then once we take the real ID after the real ID just gonna reel us into the digital ID. Now, besides your cell phone, then they can go to this social credit score thing like they got going on over in China and Japan. I got a homeboy who put me up on it, who live over there. So we got to look at what's the New World Order agenda, all this state policies and everything black people thinking was going on and all that type of stuff. None of that even matters because the people at the top got something else going on. So all these arguments that we can do at the bottom where we arguing with each other about this and that, we minors, we minorities, whether we got more numbers than them people or not. We using a minute mind and we're arguing with each other about small
Can I
shit.
Can I explain something to you, bro?
Yes, sir.
I ain't gonna lie. My audience want me to get back on this FBA shit, man, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I hear what you're saying, but ain't nothing gonna stop me with this FBA shit. Not no one bringing up NWO shit or none of that, because I'm gonna tell you something. I'm on that. I'm viral on that. I'm making documentary. I'm the type, bro, I'm a whole film company. Can't no content creator tell me how to move, because guess what? This channel I'm on is strictly for FBA and politics. I got another channel where I've already covered real IDs in a way I ain't saw nobody else, none of my peers in this community cover. Until y'all do that, y'all are catching up with me technically when it comes to the New World Order agenda. I'm such a hard worker. I can do what I gotta do with my FBA shit, my flat power shit, my music shit, my flat earth shit, my Bible syncretism. I'm a jack of all trades. I know my purpose. So what I would say is this, and no disrespect, it's never we with me. I'm a selfish nigga when it come to the moves I'm gonna make in my life, and I ain't moving in partnership or union with any other nigga. I'm gonna do what I wanna do when I wanna do it, how I wanna do it, and right now it's time to attack some tethers and to represent for FBA. And to people who don't understand why that's important, who think that's some low-level conversation or small talk, I would even argue they're not woke. Because guess what? The powers that be in this country, y'all think that they just attacking us on some high-level NWO shit. But all of this tether talk, all of what the tether's doing is an extension of what these white folks in power been trying to do to my people, but they can't do it directly. So they got black Pan-Africans doing it. They got tethers being the voice of indigenous foundational black Americans when it comes to politics in America. You got a tether mayor in power in Baltimore, which is one of the blackest fucking cities in America. It's full of indigenous FBA. And you got a damn tether up in the power in Baltimore saying we don't need reparations. He's speaking for an entire black city who really think they should get it, but they thought when they put that nigga in office that it was skinfolk, kinfolk. Man, listen, delineation is real, is needed. We late to the party. Everybody else been did this shit. It's about time niggas did it. Y'all like 100 years late, FBA. So it shouldn't be a surprise on what we doing. Because what we doing is some every group already did, and we late as hell doing it. No one never thought we would do it. Because when we didn't do it, they was like, look at them divided niggas. Now we united and they saying, y'all divided. Ain't that some reverse psychology like a bitch? So let me get back to the video. If it ain't about FBA, man, I listen, but it ain't gonna stop me from getting back with this smoke with this FBA. It's FBA, man. That's what it is. That's what it is, bro. And I'm going to defend that shit aggressively and passionately and sensitively. Anything I think going on against it. Yeah.
You know, I fuck with you anyway, man. So
it ain't even about me, though. It's about my lineage, my people, man. This shit bigger than me. Shout out to FBA.
Yeah, I just disagree on some things, but you know what I'm saying? Now, this shit I had nothing to do with, because I mean, what we really doing? Like, we can't say we ain't got no direction we going. We just driving, just jump in the car type thing. And I know about the getting it together and all that, but that will make me think the physical things that we doing is gonna define who he is. Not so that, you know, I just got my own feelings about it. I don't even want to talk bad about FBA. I ain't talking bad about nobody.
You are FBA, bro.
I know when it comes to that's why I said when it comes to foundational Black Americans, bro, I'm FBA. But when it comes to when we look this thing up and then we start looking into what it's saying as a technical term, then it start changing. It's just like Black Lives Matter. I'm black too.
No, it ain't, bro, because listen. Black Lives Matter is started by Jewish money and a Jewish dude by the name of George Soros. And we never controlled the narrative with Black Lives Matter. And guess what? Black Lives Matter was not a delineation movement for blacks. It was everybody included, long as you rocking with black folks. Even if when you went to a Black Lives Matter protest, it'll be a lot of white folks there. FBA different. The white folks that would have went to a Black Lives Matter protest, they would never go to a FBA gathering because that's too black. It's levels to it. That's to us. You see what I'm saying? That's how I know it's grassroots. Because guess what? I've been fought. One thing about it, what y'all got to realize, I'm a nigga that's been critical of Tariq Nasheed. Y'all know that. I've came after him about Diddy and a bunch of shit. I've clowned him, joked on him, but you know what? I respect that brother because he's FBA. Like, I don't gotta agree with everything he's saying, but what he did for our people was a good thing, and that's what he's gonna be known for. And what make him so important, when you do something as good as galvanize black people and you don't even want credit for it, it makes your people gain a new respect for you. So even if I don't even rock with everything Tariq do, he got my respect as one of the founders of FBA. And I say one of the founders because it was before him. We got elders before him that had the concept already, right? So you can't take that from Tariq. He did something that needed to be done. I don't give a fuck because I don't like a lot of shit Tariq do. But it ain't worth bringing up. But to me, if you do some good shit that outweigh all your bad, then people gotta be bringing up that good thing instead of that little petty bad stuff. So anything I can go after that man about, it ain't worth it. It's just better for me to get on code and be with what we got, with this agenda we got, man. So it is bigger than him. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like you can be an FBA and totally go against Tariq. He ain't gonna fucking say, you kicked out of the group. It's not a group. That man just came up with a banner for our lineage. Even his haters who FBA can't take that. They got to say, and they don't probably even want to keep this, right? You got niggas that may even be hating Tariq. They still got to say, well, damn, I'm FBA. You got to call yourself a name he came up with, because why? Your people getting behind this. And it's crazy not to be part of what your people about if it's positive and it's on a big unified level like this. If it was some other shit, I'll be going against it. I'll be telling you I'm a coon, nigga. I'm getting my coon on. And I'll be cooning it up going again. You know that. But this shit is the real deal, is what we've been needed, man. It is really what's up, bro.
Really is a good, it's a hell of an idea. Like I even said this, like it's a hell of an idea. It ain't been a better idea. You know, my only thing with FBA is being tied back to Africa, because I can go to a graveyard where my people in the ground, I can look up 250, 300 years. So first they said we came in the 1800s from Africa and all that. So I know I ain't African because I know the people I can go find in the ground. I don't know they mamas and daddies, but they ain't even from Africa. So my only thing with FBA is just the 100 Africans that they talking about in 1526, because when we think about 100 Africans 500 years ago, now we can say that all of us can be mixed into each other. So, I mean, I know FBA ain't saying that. I'm just looking at the logistics of it. Like,
Why we can be mixed in, though? Tell me why we should be mixed in.
Because of 100 Africans came in 1526, and they just been living amongst us. Then now we don't know our genealogy.
But hold up, though. They ain't been living amongst us. Every time you have Africans or foreigners come amongst us, they still delineate amongst us, just like we're trying to do. So, for example, you got Busta Rhymes. He considered us to this day like black entertainment. He got BET. He got, like Busta Rhymes considered black. Think about
But
it. Listen, 50 Cent is he ain't
Jamaican.
fully FB, right? But we
Jamaican.
consider him black though. So the thing with black culture, we allow you to be one of us as long as you really one of us. If you bout what we bout and you ain't undermining us, we don't care if you a brother from the island. But the moment you go to trying to undermine us, we're gonna point out the fact, wait a minute, nigga, you're a Jamaican. You ain't even really one of us. We're gonna now make you kick you out and take your black card away. Yeah.
See, we get shot in the foot every time. This is my thing. So every time we trying to be brothers with somebody, then soon as they come over here and they turn into the president or something, then they say, "Oh, I'm a Jamaican American." They ain't one of us no more.
Yeah.
You see what I'm
That's what I'm
saying?
saying.
Yeah,
That's
like
why
so
we gotta delineate. Yeah.
that's why I'm glad I'm having this conversation with you. That's my issue because every time we do that shit, like we just black, like we just linking up. Why we just can't be niggas in America? That's it. Why every time it come down to us trying to solidify ourselves, there's a problem. So niggas come feed off us and be a tether off us all the time. But then when we want to delineate ourselves as being just us, it's a problem. Niggas feel left out. But then every time we give them a chance, then they bite the hand and feed them, and then they run off on us like running off on the plug.
You know why? I'm gonna break down to y'all why right now. America got a serious problem. The people that it enslaved and that it specified to be at the bottom of its society, what happened to those people at the bottom of society? They started to create trends and different things in the world that became a hot commodity. For example, hip hop, fashion, you know, the stuff black folks offer. The problem America got, the people it want at the bottom has traits, attributes, and gifts that keep them moving back to the top. So how do you combat that? You can't really take away the people's talents, they swagger, they gifts without just exterminating them all. But you don't want to do that because their talents and gifts is lucrative to you. So what do? You learn how to cultural appropriate. You say, look, I can get a black man that look just as black as Key Norfolk, and if we can get rid of his UK accent, if we can get rid of his Nigerian accent, put him in a hood for a few years, let him absorb the hood culture, then that's a nigga we can control. Now, he can be an implant, sell millions of records, cultural appropriating black folks hip hop, even though he should have been doing reggae because he's Jamaican, right? And when and the thing is, he never accept an award as a black man. He accepted as a Jamaican. He's only a black man when he's killing and selling drugs in the lyrics that got him the award. But when he actually get the award, so the problem America got is the people we want at the bottom, we can't keep them there if we don't find a way to control their culture and exploit it through outside means. And that's where this word tether becomes very important, because that's a big form of economically and intellectually undermining your property as a people. Because you can just get a guy in from another country that can rap good as hell, and he can say he's black, and he can say, look, this is the first artist to sell this many records. He broke history as the first black artist to do that, and he might not even be black. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is this right here. America need a buffer group, is what I call it. That means when the niggas come up with something that's a multi-trillion-dollar idea, we need another group that can mimic and imitate that, because we always got to show the nigga that you will never have leverage as a slave. Meaning, if a nigga come up with a good, like you come up with hip hop or something that's uniquely you, you can use that for leverage. if it becomes a $1 trillion industry because it's uniquely yours. So what they do to prevent that, they just make it uniquely everybody's. Anything you create, Key, they don't say is yours. They just say it's universal. Instead of saying it's black culture, they say it's urban street culture.
Facts.
It's hip hop culture. But with everyone else, it's this culture, Asian culture, Jamaican culture. They put a geographic name and a flag to it. They only keep your culture vague so that it can be exploited.
Can we do that though, Sanchez? Can we make that the norm with FBA? You know, can we just make this about us? And it's not being
That's what it is. Yep.
Jamaican brothers or African brothers or nothing. If FBA is just for us, can we have something, man, without like, you know, anybody else coming in tethering off of us? That's what tether is. It's like something that's just holding on to our tailpipe, that's sucking up all the shit that we leaving behind or even taking out of our pocket. Like, you understand what I'm saying? So can we do that? Do you think we can do that?
I'm gonna tell you some real shit, bro.
Yeah.
FBA is the beginning when we talk about delineation. See, a light bulb just went on in your head, Key Norfolk, and I witnessed it just now. And what that is you're now seeing what FBA opened the door for moving forward. Because now we got full control over our shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't just say, well, this is black music. No, 5-10 years from now, the children gonna be saying this is FBA music. You feel me?
Facts.
It's more shit changing now. And we're snatching ourselves up out the universal melting pot, right? To where you're gonna have rappers that say, look, don't call me a black rapper. I'm a FBA rapper. Cause right now when I'm about to put my album out, right? In 2026, I'm about to put my album out next year. Just assuming, let's say, and I'm just hypothetically speaking, let's say my album get real big and popular. And they be like, we here with this black man, but I'ma always specify I am not a black. I'm a foundational black American. That's something that FBA got to start doing because other groups do that. They'll let you know, bro, I'm not black, I'm a Jamaican. I'm not black, I'm Nigerian. We got to start saying, look, I'm not black, nigga.
Okay.
I'm foundationally black. You know what I'm saying?
Urban nigga that y'all talking about. The urban city hip hop nigga that make a lot of sense.
I get to say I'm not black too, but then turn around, right? But you know, but it allows us to have exclusivity, man. It's so much power in that.
And see, we really the fuel in the gas tank, bro. Because even though these other people have their own heritage and their own culture, they still on a mass level of everything. They still take our cultures and our things that we do, as far as when they want to identify globally. They take Americanized urban type things. You know what I'm saying? Even when you go to Africa, they trying to act like 50 Cent. When you go to Haiti, they trying to act like 50 Cent. So it's like we get hit on both ends, and that's my thing. So I was just trying to see how FBA gonna deal with that, because I'm
gonna tell you what's so beautiful about it. Us delineating is our dealing with. It's a way to deal with any problem you can name that's coming from a tether or some foreigner or oppressor when it comes to the handling of FBA business and politics. Because anybody operating on a big level and they ain't on code with FBA, we disown them. That go for celebrities too. That's what I like about it. FBA forces your black ass to get on code with your ancestors, whether you like it or not. So that's why I say, even if you don't like Tariq, you gotta love FBA, nigga. Because It ain't never been a movement in America that the coons, if you got any coon in you, you know, okay, I gotta get that in check now and make sure my cooning justified, because anything I do gotta be on code now. I'm being watched the moment that I say I'm FBA. The entire community have a checks and balances system to where, nigga, anything you do off code, it's gonna be called out. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else in FBA with a channel gonna say, look, this nigga saying he FBA and look at this off code shit he doing. It's dope because it makes niggas be for the mission, and you can't be on no bullshit and say you're with us, because we gonna say, nah, that nigga ain't with us. He ain't moving right.
That makes a lot of sense because we not together right now. So now nigga can just be a motherfucking sellout and just be cooning for these people, and he ain't got no group to really
there you go.
Too. You understand what I'm saying?
Right, because you feel, because what happened is the coon will say, well, you know, I'm speaking for black people. Well, no, you're not, because
you not.
Get right. Yeah.
Nah, I feel that, bro, because there's no we can just cancel the person, but then by us doing it not collectively, we canceling the wrong people sometimes. We canceling people based off our feelings, and we need to be canceling people based off of how they're affecting us as a group. So I gotta give you, I gotta give FBA, I gotta give whatever the just do when we doing it. You know, you got to keep it real. You know, it ain't no sense in just talking just to talk. So there's some real shit what you saying. Now that would make it where we can hold certain people accountable. Then it wouldn't be nowhere to come back to. Like all these people, like the shit. Now I'm gonna say this nigga name because I know him personally. Fuck it. 607 Hunk. The way he went over there and cooned and shit. Now he can come back and then we can be like, yo, well, brother, you just went over there and coon and did all that. Don't come back over here with this shit now, because now we disown you. We ain't able to do that because we not grouped up as a people. So I get what you're saying, bro.
Man, I'm going to tell you, bro, just like I'm going to show you what it's about, our people taking our shit back. It ain't about us trying to take from nobody else. That's what I'm tripping off, bro. Like, what's wrong with me and my people coming together in a huddle saying what we gonna do about taking our shit back? And this conversation ain't got nothing to do with no outsiders, because it wasn't your house that was broken in, nigga. Shut up. Is what we telling the Ted. If you ain't got a good way to come into this huddle and give us a good idea on how to strategize to get our shit back, if you doing anything else, then it's F you, man. You know, it's you against us, bro. So I love it because I'm gonna tell you right now, I look at it like the man code, right? It's certain things that just are naturally formed. Like, you got something called a man code. Men made the code naturally, just as a certain things you do and don't do as a man. FBA, when we say ban on code, it's a natural code that's made by a group of people that know goddamn well what they should and shouldn't be doing in this country based upon us being targeted. And they know what the hell that is. So it's like a natural code that's made from that. It ain't like, no, it's just when we say on code. So that's the beautiful thing about FBA. It gives you a code to follow if you saying you connected to this lineage. And if you ain't following that code, you're stupid, because it's designed to maintain the integrity of our actions being in alignment of what our ancestors would want us to do politically. Yeah.
Right. And then, so I got a question to ask you. So as far as that, you know, I want to see, can we get rid of that whole, the 100 Africans came? Because guess what? Them 100 Africans didn't just come at that time. People always been coming into this country. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got South Americans who done came here. people from Haiti, people from Jamaica, people always been coming in out of here. So we using history to say one time that some people came here. That's what's messing with me with the whole thing with FBA. When I look and then we saying 15, 26, 100 Africans, them wasn't the first Africans who came here. So
Hey,
what I'm
look,
saying, yeah,
here's what I'm gonna do, right? I'm gonna be honest with you. I got the FBA flag proudly on the thumbnail, and I ordered one. It should be on the way.
yeah,
1526 represent, when, like you said, it kind of alludes to you saying we came over in 1526 on slave ships. I get it. And
yeah.
that's a real problem, Key, that I got with FBA too. But you know why it don't stop me from claiming it and being part of it? It's because I see most of all the black people already on board. So it's like, okay, this what we're claiming. It's like this, okay, we got our own little basketball team now.
Right.
And then I don't agree with the shit on the jersey, the team mascot, the goddamn history that they telling about the team. That ain't right. I'll debate you on that. But I gotta play. I got to go play for this damn team still, though. I still gotta go on the court and perform in the uniform. But outside the game, I am gonna go to like the members, like, bro, we gotta do something about this name, this uniform, and all that. But I'm still gonna play, though. You feel me?
Right. And then Sanchez, so I know you from the South like me, so you know your people. Like you got land. I don't want to bring up your personal shit, but I'm just saying, let's say for instance that we know some type of land that's in our family. So the land history gonna give us the history. So we gonna know if we had this shit for 200 years, then we know 200 years of history just based off the land. The blood go with the land. You understand what I'm saying? So by knowing this type of knowledge and just what you just said right now, as far as, you know, because the same issue you said you got, now you making me look at this shit a whole lot different, because that is my issue. And then if this gonna be something that's gonna bring us to a forefront to where we can come together.
Yeah.
And
Because
we
that's
can
the
try
only...
to
Bro,
yeah.
let me tell you the main, because Key, you getting it now. Like, and be easy, that dude, I'm glad you came back on, bro. We finna let you in right now, man. I'm going to just say this, Key, because you got it. Look, this is why you want to get behind FBA. It's been hard to galvanize black people for the past 50 years, man. We ain't been galvanized like this since the civil rights movement in the South. You know that, right, Key? So...
Right.
My whole thing is this kind of power is a good thing and a bad thing. We got a bunch of power and numbers and people getting on board. The question is, what's the end goal? Now, I'm hoping it naturally forms versus Tariq actually activating himself as a leader and start to make it a cult. I don't see him doing that. He letting it grow organically, but what you do see happening is he may turn around later and say, you know, I am the spokesperson leader. And if that happened, FBA I believe all the people just gonna get behind his dictatorship. And at that point, I'll get away from FBA. But as it stand now, to me, it seemed like an idea Tariq had that I don't even think he was gonna get this damn big. But it's so much bigger than him. It's just a unity of black folks who know they blood been here. And here's the main two things we benefit from it: unity and a code. When you get a bunch of your people coming together, but not only coming together on a code and a way to move for our benefit collectively. That's... Bro, it's like, it happened so quick, it damn near seems CIA, which is why people question it. Like, damn, nigga, this shit legit, you know? But I get how it happened like that, because it popped off like a trend. People
It
just
may just be timing though, bro. It may just be that it's supposed to happen.
because
You know what I'm
niggas
saying?
been looking for some to be ours to get back at like the tethers. We didn't even know to call them tethers. Tariq gave us that too. Like niggas gotta respect Tariq. Now you ain't got the goddamn. You can be a man and disagree with him, but that's something you can't hate on that nigga about, man.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's all about the collective of everybody. So it's nothing personal. If somebody come talking about Tariq when it comes to how I look at FBA, then I gotta shut them down. Cause I'm like, damn, we ain't talking about Tariq personally. We talking about, is this a good thing for the people, or is it not a good thing for the people? It's not nothing personal when it comes to FBA. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you said, it's a lineage. But like my only thing was the African thing, and I know you share that same sentiment. That's my same sentiment. But it's like being in your family. Like you might not like how your drunk uncle act or whatever, but that's still your family. You know what I'm saying?
You
So,
see the hat that I'm wearing? You see the hat? You see the hat that I'm wearing?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, like when it comes to FBA, like I got my state hat on. That's a people gonna say, oh well, that's a Confederate flag. That's a Mayan symbol that goes back to the indigenous Nagas of this land. Hitler turned this into a swastika. But see, I'm gonna be teaching about all these banned symbols. I know who I am. And I ain't nowhere you gonna trace in my blood or my people and get to Africa. We're Seminole, red-skinned, copper-colored people that's been here from the beginning of time. And it ain't that I don't like Africa. It's just that I love who the hell I am when you know who you is. Hey, but let me pass to Be Easy. Shout out to Be Easy, man, and then shout out to anyone coming up with smoke. We welcome it.
Hey, what's up, bro? Could you hear me clearly?
Yep, for sure.
Okay, yeah. Thank you for allowing me to speak. A lot of stuff has been said. So I'll just try to chime into it and be concise and precise. But I'll start. I'll start with the term tether. And why it's definitely a necessary term to use, because it's an action term. You're not calling someone a tether just by virtue of them not having FBA lineage, right? You have to do something to become and earn that title of a tether. And nobody is wanting people to abolish the term Sambo or raccoon or anything like that. So why are we pushing to, consider tether to be divisive? Is it any less divisive than people calling us Jareer, Abid, Akata, saying Yankee in a derogatory term? Tether is actually the most mild slur, epithet, sort of that you can say. We get called the N-word with the GA and the hardest ER, and we supposed to just suck that up and get over it. So if we have to get over that, then they can get over tether. And Tariq also gave praise to the movie Us. So we actually should give more praise to Jordan Peele, because there's a movie, and I haven't even seen the movie, but I know the premise of the movie enough to understand this. So there's the movie Us. It came out in 2019. That's right around the time where Tariq, he said he popularized the term. So he took this term from this movie Us. And if people haven't seen the movie, it's they have these species, they're called shadows in the movie. And guess what they're called? Tethers. And the objective of the tether is to mimic a person, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it'll be like a doppelganger. They'll have a doppelganger of Sanchez, and they're supposed to be a lifeless existence where they replicate your movement, your routines, and the only thing that they can't how you resist it, and this is wild, how you resist it is by having soul. And people get on Tariq about this. He calls it something like the Majara spirit. Y'all could come up with your own name if y'all don't believe that, but in this movie Us, how they overcome the tethers is by having the soul. Yep, it has to be in you, not on you.
There
And I
you
got
go.
more to say, but it sounds like you want to chime in,
Brother,
bro.
I ain't gonna do nothing but interject and you can have it right back. I'm just gonna say the tethers were the first form of AI to black people. And what I mean by that, everything you just said, something that's there to mimic your soul, mimic your swagger. It don't have the soul for itself, but it can look at what you doing. It imitates what you doing, but it don't even understand why it's doing it because it's not connected to the culture. So if a person come from Jamaica and they saying, "What up, my nigga," and doing all that, they don't even feel it the way we feel it. They don't even get it the way we get it. They're imitating it. Like it's not. They can never get it the way we get it. Like you see what I'm saying? Like it's like AI saying, "What up, my nigga?" You see,
Yeah,
so you cooking though, yeah, for sure. You got it.
And in this movie, peep this, the tethers are clones, which, many tethers, a lot of them, we can tell by the foreheads and the hairlines, but not all of them. And this is what makes the tether so deceptive because, especially in this movie, they're produced by a secretive government project designed to control the population. And weren't you just talking about how tethers are used to undermine here? They put a tether in head of Baltimore. We don't need no reparations. We need to pull ourselves up by the bootstrap.
Right.
That's the government plan. And then they can also push the model minority myth. So they use a tether to do that. But also getting back to it, the tethers, they were intended as a tool of domination. And I'm reading from the description of the movie. The project was abandoned, leaving the tethered to live a lifeless, mimic cry-bound existence, replicating the movements and routines of their above-ground counterparts without true autonomy or emotional fulfillment. And that's back to the soul. They can mimic us, and but it's just not the same. Just like when they get a bunch of tethers to play are icons. They tried to get Cynthia Erivo to play Aretha Franklin, play Harriet Tubman. All of those they don't hit the same because she's been known to disparage us, undermine us, but then try to take benefits from us. And then when people see her, it's just not the same. She doesn't have that spirit, that soul, And I would also say in terms of, I'm with you, like I respect Tariq. I think people, they kind of complain and whine about Tariq way too much. It's a lot of things that I disagree with Tariq, but I agree with the majority of what he says and his contributions to the community. Many of that stuff is like quibbling, you know what I mean? Dr. Claude Anderson talked about years ago that whether you like it or not, your race, your ethnic group, that's your football team. So kind of like you was telling the brother, like, if we're on the Lakers, what sense does it make for you to go out and say disparaging stuff? And man, we just need to do this. And man, I don't like that we run in the triangle. Okay, that's okay that you can voice, but that's considered locker room talk.
Yeah.
Not you know what I mean? All of these people, they got people of that protected community where, and you can look this up on the Times of Israel, the Jerusalem Post, where they were talking about it being a haven for pedos. Show me one Jewish content creator that's talking about them harboring pedos over in Israel. You won't find it, but we quick to just bash people just for the sake of disagreement. You should be, what I always say, strategize, organize, mobilize. If you doing that, then you won't have to say, oh man, Tariq is doing this. And people will say his information is pseudo, but they're not presenting anything else.
You know what they are? They presenting that same damn retired ass Pan-African out of Africa theory. Go ahead. That's what they. Yeah.
And this is the thing, and I'll land because I got more to say, but I'll just let the flow.
And DJ Jaguar, before you go anywhere with your good night, let me address your chat reply respectfully, Jaguar. Before you go ahead.
Yeah, and I just want to say, when you want to debunk something, this is why I respect you so much, bro, because you really be looking for the intellectual smoke. If I'm considering myself an intellectual bully, right? You know how it is on the block. If somebody say they got hands, look at shout out to Bud Crawford. He just retired. He said he was whoever had hands in the hood. All right, cool. I'm gonna go see about him. You know what I mean? If you really the intellectual bully and you think FBA is pseudo and Tariq is that and bro Sanchez don't know what he talking about, present the evidence instead. A lot of people just whining and stuff. Why haven't you used AI to write a book to debunk? You know what I mean? People haven't wrote a book. They haven't started a channel, but they go to Tariq's platform or other people's platform and whine about what Tariq is not saying or what other creators are not saying or doing. And then you turn them and ask them a simple question. Hey, bro, what are you doing? Oh, man, well, I work and I got kids. Tariq got kids. Bro, Sanchez worked. This person got kids. You know what I mean? We all got 20. Then they start sounding like victims, the stuff that they tell you not to act like. So I'm just saying, like, we just got to do better, strategize, organize, mobilize. You know what I mean? We got to be handling business off the record so that when we come to bro Sanchez, we already talking about the NWO. We talking about that at home. We talking about that at the cookouts. That's where we need to be talking about it at, not on a platform where they're listening and everything is monitored and we have Palantir that's under surveillance. And then what, we're just going to give them our strategy on how we going to combat the NWO where everything is recorded. So, I mean, I think we just got to move a little bit sharper. And I think FBA in this delineation movement, which I call the delineation process, I think is helping us to get on code, build more camaraderie. Because like you said, bro Sanchez, it don't matter. Tariq said, man, Jesse Lee Peterson is a Sambo, but he's still FBA, right? Like, so ultimately we're on the same team. You know what I mean? Whether somebody is scoring 50 or somebody is riding the bench. And I'll land with that.
And
Yeah,
what else? Yeah, go ahead. Go
Oh
ahead.
no, I'm sorry, bro. I just want to say this now. The NWO conversation, I think that's the conversation we not having. You know, just because bro got videos on it and shit, I don't think the average person is having this conversation because when it comes down to getting a new real ID, everybody's gonna say, "Well, I'm gonna get a ticket and things." It's just like the jizzad, what I was saying earlier. So I don't think people really having an NWO conversation. That's a touchy conversation. But what you did say, was some good shit that you said, bro, was people coming over here, these tethers, they come and they taking the script. You know what I'm saying? That's what you talking
You
about
know what,
souls and
bro?
not having a soul. That's the eternal hard drive with the external hard drive. So they getting these external hard drive packs coming over here and they able to follow they getting a handbook. But we just do this shit naturally, like what bro was saying. You understand what I'm saying? This shit in us. It's just ain't nobody gotta tell us nothing. They basing this shit off how we just naturally being and how we naturally acting. But people come over here and they getting an external hard drive pack. You understand what I'm saying? So they getting the policy book, the handbook, and they going along with the powers that be when they do that, when they get their book, because they gonna give them the instructions of how to be when you get over here. This is why they end up being a teller. This is why they end up going against us, because they not like us. They ain't got this shit internally built in them, and it's not about them. It's about us. So when they come over here, they getting the policy book. Why? Because they get incentives to come over here, bro. They getting like extra food stamps. They getting tax incentives and all this type of thing to come over here. So we can't get nothing. So they can they can deport these people, but we ain't got nowhere to go because we from here, bro. So that's why I'm just saying, when it comes to us in America, that's why I just want us to be us. That's it. I'm not talking down on nobody about nothing. I don't care if you Jamaican,
Me
African,
neither.
whatever. But why can't we just be us all the time? And the reason that is because we are the footstool. Everybody can stand on us. So when somebody come from another place, when they last resort come for them to get stepped on, they end up stepping on us. And they rise, but they stepping on us from the beginning. You understand what I'm saying? So when you said that soul having a soul and not having a soul thing, I get it. But I like to call it the external hard drive and the internal hard drive because they just getting these packs. You understand what I'm saying? They come with a pack. They give them
Yeah,
a
so
package when they come over here. So yeah,
it,
I'm
it,
rocking with what you said, bro. That was some real shit. Salute.
Yeah, I want to say to Jaguar, because Jaguar, what you said was what a lot of people be feeling like. Like, I'm gonna read Jaguar's post. It says right here, I'm done with this human shit. I want to read it verbatim. I don't want to put no words in the brother's mouth. Said, oh man, salute. Said, oh man, I'm past this human shit. And I'm going to say this real quick, right? I don't think none of us better than the next man. Some of us may know a little bit more than the next person may know a lot more. I think in the eyes of the universe, the smartest man and the dumbest man is equal in value, because they both gonna ultimately reach the same destination anyway. But I'm saying that to say, you're a human. You're a God. You're both of them. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Not just tell it to you, I'll show you what I'm saying. Look, you are a electromagnetic energy field, a battery, if you will. And what two sides come with a battery, y'all? A negative and a positive, right? Now, a lot of people think they woke. They think that they're headed in the right direction because they ignore some things and pay attention to others. Now, mind you, I'm very deep. I got sacred geometry, syncretism. I can teach a lecture right now that'll blow you away. But guess what? Every time I decide to make content, I really go within and see what I'm feeling. And sometimes I'm being pulled down. That's the earth tetrahedron. Sometimes I'm being pulled up. That's the solar tetrahedron. And I'm very cognitive of what energy influencing me the most. And whenever my earth tetrahedron is stronger, I come and I call out the injustices on a what? Human rights level. Not the spiritual injustices. It's two layers of reality. Part of me is a Johnny Cochran lawyer, dealing with nothing but the legal and politics of the human rights. Human, your idea to be a soul inside of a body, but to still be at peace in your body, is why I talk against slavery. Is why I talk politics. Is why I deal with the lower earth half, because that's me too. I'm going to tell you niggas something. If you want to strip through the veil, you got to pull the solar tetrahedron up and you got to pull the earth tetrahedron down. I'm going to literally demonstrate to you what stripping look like. My camera's on. If you want the call, you're going to have to watch the YouTube video to see what I'm saying. Look. Here go the earth tetrahedron. Here go the solar tetrahedron. They're both together like this. You're in the middle of this chamber. In order for this chamber to open, guess what gotta happen? This. It gotta open up like that. The top one gotta go up, the bottom one gonna drop down. And what's gonna bust out is the real you. You can't see what I mean by this is a person can't fool me like they spiritual if they don't care about a baby being raped. Now they can say, but I meditate. I'm a vegan. I astral project to other worlds, Sanchez. I lucid dream. But you don't care about human affairs? You don't care about regular earthly shit like people eating, people living day to day in their bodies freely. Then you ain't woke for real. You ain't balanced. You're inhumane. You're too spiritual for your own damn good. Cause your head so far up a Kundalini goddamn tree. You don't even care that we're losing our humanity. That's crazy. That's crazy. A person can't tell me they spiritual and they don't care about regular stuff too. See, being spiritual don't mean you don't care about the earth no more. It means now I care about my spirit and the earth. You feel me? It don't mean I can not care about one and just care about the other one. It means now I got to multitask. I got to multitask now. I got to do them both now. You see what I'm saying? That's what it means. Because that's like saying if you see a dude getting lynched in the middle of the road that you wouldn't hop in and help. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to get your energy messed up, right? You don't want to have that negativity on your lower chakra. So if you see that old lady getting mugged, you want to keep your kumbaya, keep your spirit, right? Your vibration high, right? See, not me. I'm helping. That's the human in me. That's the human part of me.
Hey, that's crazy. I was just explaining that to somebody, but what I said is, you don't got no choice. You live in a duality, so you had to do both of them. I said, if a motherfucker just kill somebody and they see a baby about to get ran over in the street, he just killed somebody, he gonna try to save that baby. It's in you. You got to do both of them. So yeah, you on point, bro. That's crazy.
Right. Like, let's just talk about the spiritual realm every day for the rest of our life, right? That's why I could never be a niche channel. Because if you got any kind of spirit in you, then you would look at the inhumanity that's taking place on the earth right now. Like, that's what make me talk about AI and talk about, like, your body is a goddamn manifest a reflection of your spirit in this realm. You ain't even like, I'm gonna fall back to a real truth. Thank you for joining. You and BG, I'm gonna let y'all cook. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, man, people saying, but I want it, but look, I'm gonna respond. I'm gonna say this. A person, you said politics is the problem, right? Check this out. Famine is the problem. War is the problem. Guess what we're doing? Pointing out the problems. So if you know politics is the problem, but you don't want to get political, how you going to solve it? If you know that your people believing in Democrat and Republican is the problem, but you don't want to engage them in a conversation about Donald Trump because you two namaste, then how you helping?
Facts. This shit mind, body, and soul, man. We gotta be able to balance the three. See, we used to say that to each other, but that ain't even no saying no more. Everybody either wanna be too physical, too spiritual, or too mental. And that's the fucking problem. You know
No
what I'm saying?
balance.
And we can't forget, right, that they just took the X, right? So they cut off from their God self anyway. They might not, man. They just walking on autopilot, bro. That's what I think. Cause it ain't no way. It ain't no way you can't feel and know what Bro Sanchez just said, right? So
Hey,
they
bro.
cut off from their God self, bro. That's proof of it right there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just will be real quick because Bro Sanchez brought up the tetrahedron, and I don't know if you're familiar with geometric psychology, but as it relates to FBA, they talk about the tetrahedron being symbolic in terms of culture. And I'm reading this right now. It says it symbolizes foundational structures. Its representation of balance and dynamism can aid in understanding human dynamics and relationships, reflecting how individuals construct their personal and social identities based on foundational experiences in environments. And this is from Geometric Psychology, how the tetrahedron relates to human behavior. Y'all got it.
That's crazy. That's crazy how you said foundational with that. That's what we talking about.
And that's what
the whole thing.
The text says.
Like
right.
The crazy thing, and this is just my belief I'm about to give now. I believe we've been here before, me personally, and that we come through our same lineage. Keyword lineage.
Stop, bro. Stop, bro. Why am I had this conversation earlier today? Say, yo, you keep repeating everything I talked about today.
That's crazy.
Bro, this shit is yo, remember you was talking about something is in the energy and you gotta snatch it out and use it, or somebody else will use it. Bro, I'm gonna just fall back and listen to you talk because I'm gonna hear myself.
But I'm just saying, because the whole FBA lineage shit, right? They've been calling that shit junk DNA. And I really think this shit finna have people, because guess what people gonna realize, bro? When most of these niggas go and do their genealogy, they're gonna go off, bro. If they do it thorough enough, they gonna end up on some Tartaria shit. I'm gonna tell you why. People are finding out that they great grandfathers was making inventions and shit that you didn't even read about in the books, and you'll find out, wait a minute, this is in the 18 what now? What? And you'll go to pulling up some of the same shit that people pull up to debunk, like the technology hoax. Like, it's so much deception going on. You researching your own family, nigga, gonna pull back layers of deception, nigga. It's this world is deep. They lied about history and everything, man. I'm telling you.
That's real shit, man, because I had found out some shit about my grandfather. Now, I knew that he had 27 kids. I knew that, back when the church and the state was together, he was basically like the state because he had a farm and all that type shit. You know what I'm saying? And then he deal with telephones. So when I look back into that, when I researched that type of shit, really look into like, damn, I've been over here. My thing is why people be talking about the ancestors and they don't be looking up their own ancestors. You know what I'm saying? Like, so who is your ancestors? Is it Harriet Tubman, Thurgood Marshall, and them and shit? Well, like, why won't you just really ask your uncle, whoever the oldest person alive in your family? Hey, what's up with grandma such and such? And who was they mom? And that's simple shit we can do. You know what I'm saying? But we don't even be doing that, bro. You know what I'm saying?
And
Go ahead. Oh, I was just saying, if y'all look at my avatar, right? That's my family tree. So this is back in 1860 something. So the woman that had all these children on that tree, you'll see their names, right? She was born in the early 1800s, like 18, maybe 30, 20 something. But it's all names attached to the land, right? But when I went further back to her mother and the person that she had children with, this motherfucker, excuse my French, don't look like us. And he's big and known in this town. It's a whole lot of fucking, you know what I'm saying, the land there, right? So these people started coming to the family reunion and stuff like that. Now, because listen, they walk right in like we wasn't woke. They knew we wasn't woke, right? Then I woke up. Now I'm realizing what the fuck I got right here, bro. Over 3,000 acres of fucking land, bro. About to tap into that shit.
And then just like my whole thing is, man, they really
what does
ain't telling
lineage
us.
have to do with politics?
What you say now?
I said, what does FBA have to do with politics?
Well, I'll say this because on a political level, the people that we call black have not galvanized as a group with their own agenda, like the small hats, and that's what FBA allows them to do.
Yeah, I was gonna act
So
like that's like asking like
hold on. Is FBA considered like uh, indigenous people to this land?
Not all FBA are indigenous.
Okay, see,
Well, hold on,
that's
hold
the
on, hold on,
problem,
hold on,
right?
hold on. Here's what I'm saying though. It ain't a problem because check this out. I gotta be honest with you. FBA is a lineage, right? But the thing is this: you have some FBA people who may can trace they part of their blood lineage to America, and then the other half to like Nigeria somewhere. I'm account for them. I'm saying not all FBA is all the way 100% just indigenous to this land, because what about the brother that may be 50% FBA, 50% whatchamacallit, he's still repping his, FBA, he doing his thing. He ain't tethering it up. We don't want to throw them under the bus, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
I
mix something in
understand
the
that. I
Kool-Aid,
just
man.
mean like when it comes to like it's all about reparations, right? Getting the money back. So if it
It ain't
comes
about the
down to
money.
it,
Hold up.
It ain't about the
it's
money.
Hold on.
between
Let
hold
let
on,
let
it's
the he was
can I
quiet a
say this
minute.
real
Let
quick,
him go.
dog, and then I'll get out of here, man. I think it comes down to the money, man. It's splitting the money between people who was born here and then like Africans who came over here. I understand FBA is founded in 1526. I
It's not.
understand slavery started in the 1619. So it was Africans that came over here that founded America. And I say
That
that
can I
because
say one thing?
America was founded in
I get the history. I
1776.
get what you said. So the account of history that you given come from the pilgrim, the invader. You acknowledge that there may be other accounts of history that is contrary to that? Would you just take what the white man says to end all be all, because that's a problem?
Um, I'm, I mean, are you constitutional? I mean, because you said that's why I asked you at first, what does FBA have to do with politics? Because if you understand the Constitution, you gotta fight for reparations, right?
And what
So
I'm
you gotta
telling you
understand.
is the fight for reparations has really not much to do with the things you were just bringing up.
Okay, I thought I heard you say like FBA is about holding the vote to get our land or our reparations back. But I thought it was also a problem with like it's mixed with Africans who came over here because anything America wasn't
Why
founded
would you
into
say mix with Africans?
because anything that America, I mean, the Constitution was found, it was signed in 1789. So that's
So
when
so so
America
you
was
you're saying,
founded from the
so
British.
hold on a second. You telling me that there was no civilization here of indigenous people with a thriving society prior to the pilgrim landing?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying if FBA is all about holding the vote right now and getting our
It ain't
reparations, don't
all
follow
about
the
that though. That's one
Constitution.
aspect, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I just thought FBA was all about like getting reparations back.
No, nope.
Okay.
That's like saying, well, Jews is all about taking over the Gaza Strip. That's one thing they doing, but that ain't what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? That's one aspect, and not all FBA even think that's a priority. You know what I'm saying? The biggest thing what FBA is about is galvanizing black people under our own exclusive identity, aka delineating.
All right. I would just say, man, we going by like you said, by the white
What I did not
pilgrim
just tell you about the
history.
hold on, wait, slow down. I just gave you the number one thing it's about. Can we deal with what you think about that before we go to something else? I don't like what I say to just be ran over. What you think about that? That's the number one thing, man. You got to have something to say about it.
Yeah, you're right, man. That's the number one thing. I agree.
So, because what you're going to do is like just skip over the number one thing and go to talking to me about the number three thing, number four thing, number five. Who does that, man? I'm just giving him the number one thing. You know why? You ain't got no pushback on us coming together now, do you? Ain't no pushback on it. That's what I get out of it.
No, there's no pushback. I'm just saying Africans that came over here is our brothers too. That's all I was saying.
Well, if
Because everything was founded under
listen. You don't tell me.
1776.
Hold on, slow down. You don't. That's the beauty of FBA. No one get to say who's our brother or not, or sister or not. And even if that is true, it doesn't matter if you undermining the code of the group. Even if you FBA, if you're not on code, you will get treated like a tether. I mean, so it's so beautiful. You understand what I'm saying?
Facts. You ain't got to be from another country to be a teller. You can be from here and be a fucking teller. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm so glad we had the conversation, because I share the same sentiment that you share when it comes to the African thing. But that's something small. That's like, now that we discussed that, that's something small. So, I mean, all the extra things that's being brought up when it comes to Africa and all that, we already know that. We know that African people black, they share the same skin we share, they get treated the same like us. So I mean, what's your point that you making, brother, that you saying right now? Because you got to make sense with what you saying. We on the platform, we talking. So what you saying about the African thing and all that? Like, what's your point that you?
No, I was just saying the same thing y'all saying. I said America was founded in 1776. So anything fall under that, who was on this land, who founded America, we all brother and sisters. That's all I was trying to say, dog.
They say 100 Africans came in 1526 to Virginia. You got to look it up. So I don't know if you on Google now or you might want to look at it. Right. So it's gonna say in 1526, 100 Africans came. So you talking about 17 something? I mean, what you really saying though? And I'm listening to you. I ain't trying to discredit you, but I'm just trying to like help you out a little bit. Like what you really saying?
Hey, Key.
No,
Yeah.
I'm saying based on like the.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm saying based on the Constitution, America wasn't founded until 1776. So
False. False.
anything that fall under that, whether
That's
Africans was
false.
here
What
or
do
Indians was here,
I'm saying? What do they got to do with anything that you saying right now? Make what you saying make sense. That's what I'm saying.
I'm saying based on FBA, I thought FBA was based on indigenous people that was born here, not just
FBA
people who came over here.
now facts.
That's
And you spitting out facts just because it's a fact don't mean they got nothing to do with the point that you're trying to make. What's the point you trying to make? Don't try to start making a point and then say some shit that's a fact for me to agree with the fact.
the point is I got you. The
Oh,
point
yeah.
is I just thought FBA was another like agency,
Well,
like
let me
the
explain something to you.
NOI,
But
all that shit,
can
dog.
I ask you a question, BG? What's your
Yeah.
ethnicity? What's your ethnicity? It got
Oh, I was
mighty
born here.
goddamn quiet.
Mic drop.
What's your ethnicity, brother? Hey, listen. I didn't ask you where you was born. That's a tether tactic. I asked you your ethnicity. See, damn it, that just shifted the whole momentum, did it? Hold on, brother. This shouldn't be that hard. Wait a
I was
minute.
letting you get done speaking, man. I know how you like to I'm American Indian, dog.
Say that again. I'm sorry. Hold on. I stepped away. Say that again.
American
What's your
Indian.
ethnicity now? Say it again. Go ahead.
Aboriginal.
That ain't an ethnicity, man. What's your
Yes, it is.
ethnicity, brother?
Aboriginal.
Come on now, brother. This is crazy now.
Getting crazy, bro.
This is damn crazy. Damn, I just put a whole piercing in your Teflon.
I just said
God damn.
American Indian. This nigga wild, dog.
He
What's
reaching
yours?
for foundational Black American, brother. What's yours, man? That's why we ask. We all know I was FBA, man. That's our ethnicity. Why? Because it's a lineage. Now we're asking you
I
yours.
just said American Indian, dog. This nigga crazy.
Okay, so, but guess what? That ain't a lineage though. That's a title, and guess what? That's a title that Columbus gave to the people that he came in contact with on this land, but they wasn't from India though.
Sanchez, FBA ain't a title. FBA ain't a title. The fuck this nigga talking about?
FBA is a lineage, my guy.
Bro, why he got such a problem with
Your
us
last
trying to come
name is
together?
a lineage.
Bro, listen to me. You
My
a tether,
last
bro.
name ain't no lineage. My last name is literally come from most of our last name was given through us on a plantation. So to say that represent who I am, I can use that to go and identify my ancestors, but that name is only used for me to track the person. And that name might as well be a brand on their back.
So, brother, BG, whose talking points are you coming under right now? Because I don't know.
A
You know
man
what I'm saying?
said your last name is your lineage. So if that's crazy because if a woman, I'm just saying that ain't true though. We gotta hold him on that because just because he don't want to tell us his lineage, and he know when we say FBA key, that mean that no matter how far back you trace my bloodline, the word lineage is lineage, your bloodline, your lineage. Guess what? It's gonna be on this particular land, bro. So I'm asking you, will I trace yours back to Nigeria? Where will I trace? You telling me where you born at, but not where your lineage at, and that's hard for you to do, and we ain't letting you off that.
Yeah,
You've been glitching ever since I asked you your ethnicity, brother.
He froze.
Oh no, my bad. I was muted. Mississippi and Arkansas. My bad. I was muted.
Come on, bro. You Googling it right now.
Yeah, he telling us where he born from, brother.
But
guess
No,
I'm
I'm
gonna tell
telling you
you
where my
why.
people from.
I'm gonna tell you because if you say, well, okay, my people from Mississippi and Arkansas, but ain't a foundational Black American, who the hell are you? That sound like FBA to me.
That sounds suspected tether, and we don't know. That's why I'm saying suspected. But let me just say this too: this mindset, you know what I mean, and I'm just talking about your mindset, BG. From what you're portraying, this is the mindset where we have to dispel this myth that delineation is only about reparations, because like you said, bro Sanchez, and I use these exact words, we've been late to the delineation party. It's about also delineating from this type of mindset. It's also about delineating and saying that, hey, look, when we created hip hop, we forget what Austin Holloman is saying, that we didn't get that from Africa. So we have to delineate our accomplishments as well, our cultural achievements. It ain't no hate, but it's just like us trying to take credit for a goosey soup or jerk chicken. No, that comes from a specific culture, right? It's not just some global Black thing, right? So yeah, what we come up with is just not for everyone to just tether on to, just unchallenged.
And let me give a shout out to Just Be Real, Big Cheese, and to Shadows, to Lime. Like Big Cheese say, you're doing great work. Please keep exposing how tethers move against FBAs. Yo, I got some more videos I was gonna play, but it ain't worth it if we got a brother up here with a little pushback. BG, we having a respect for Bill. I appreciate you coming up. And yeah, man, anything else, man, take your time. The floor is on you. Any questions you may have. Oh, he got up out of here. But I tell you what, though, the brother sure didn't want to let us know who he would no profile picture or nothing.
Bro Sanchez, he just listen. So I don't know if people think was my position. I said it was my position. I had one little instance with FBA. So me and bro talked about this. My brother anyway. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a rock with bro Sanchez. See, I could call bro Sanchez offline. We could have a discussion. We ain't gotta have a discussion online. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying what I'm saying, but we talking about it. So if I got a theory about something, and then bro Sanchez come with facts, then if it's some facts in play over the theory, then me being real, I'm gonna say, okay, well the facts is the facts, and then what I'm saying, I'm gonna bring up what I'm saying. Bro said, yeah, I feel what you saying. So all the extra shit, bro, that's kind of like you got some type of agenda. You understand what I'm saying? If you ain't coming to have a conversation and you just coming to spew some shit and then get out of Dodge, that's crazy. We ain't trying to listen to you no way because you just coming to spew some shit, then you just want to say something shocking to everybody. Like, that ain't building. You know what I'm saying? We supposed to be building as a people. So we can't sit here and build and have a conversation. That's what a build about. You know what I'm saying? If there's a discrepancy, then we're going to cover up the discrepancy, then we're going to keep going. You understand what I'm saying? So all that just spewing or trying to expose something, that's the new culture now today. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't about that because we all just black folks just chilling, man, and we trying to just do better as a people and individually. So if we ain't doing that, then we ain't doing shit. You know what I'm
And
saying?
and what I don't get about the Aboriginal, I don't see why they just don't say like, cause I'm an Aboriginal, like I ain't got no smoke for the Aboriginals and they know it. Like I'm part of the Aboriginal community. But when the Aboriginal dude come up here and try to be divisive and say, well, I'm Aboriginal, but I'm not FBA, when Aboriginal and foundational are synonyms. Foundational mean you been here before the colonizer came. Aboriginal mean the same thing. So my thing is I'm gonna play with you how you play with us. Cause FBA, just like I just played a video earlier, like the Muslim guy was like, look, I'm a black Muslim, but I'm putting FBA before that, right? So my whole thing is Aboriginal is not a social political identity. Yes, it's a lineage. But when you try FBA as if it ain't a legit lineage and identity for our people, then I'm gonna play the same game because both of us now can play stupid. But at the same time, I will say salutes to the Aboriginals. It ain't no smoke. It shouldn't be no division between the Aboriginal community and what Tariq doing with the FBA thing. That shit should go hand in hand. In fact, the FBA can be foundational black Aboriginal, foundational black American, however you want to do it.
You know what I realized about him? He already know he ain't even attached here, so he hating anyway. He can't even attach himself here for real.
Right. He can't. His talking points don't even match up to
Right.
the
He
intellect.
can't. He's not like us. He can't relate.
He showed
Because
his
if you could relate, you remember everything our parents went through, who we are here. You're like, yeah, it's time for us to rise up finally. He ain't got that. He ain't got that spirit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he showed his hand when he said FBA is an agency. But he wouldn't come and ask is African American an agency, is Jamaican an agency, is Korea agency, but FBA. And people don't know this term, they should get familiar with it, but it's called intellectual sovereignty, and it refers to the capacity of individuals, groups, or nations, how they are able to maintain their autonomy over their own thinking, ideas, knowledge, production. So it's like we don't have to accept whatever name somebody else gives us. We can come up with our own name. That's part of intellectual sovereignty, and it happens on an individual level, a cultural and collective level and a national and political level. And we're supposed to be in control of that. That's what intellectual sovereignty is. That's what FBA we saying. We don't want outsiders speaking for us. Could we collaborate and come together? Yes, but you're not in control, of what's going on here.
Yeah, because and then my thing is just like the Aboriginal guy. It's finna get to a point now where if you don't put FBA before whatever you got going, then and this the whole thing too. People think, to me, it's like having a gray check mark by your name on YouTube. You authenticated among who? Your group. Now, here's the bull crap. A lot of people may say, well, that's divisive, Sanchez. What do you mean, your group? That means, look, the people in power divided and conquered us. I'm going to admit that. And they put us all in little groups to play the Hunger Games, like the Squid Games you watch on Netflix. Each group got to learn to work the fuck together for survival. And so my whole thing is this right here. Because you live among a lot of people that look like you, if a disaster broke out in the world right now, all them people will have to work together for their survival.
That's it. You just said
why not go ahead and do it already?
Just said some real shit, bro, because that's what Armageddon all about. It's a war in the heavens, but the war in the heavens is the war in the mind. So it's in the minds of the people. See, people looking for shit to come out the sky and start fighting and all that, but we already fighting against each other about
People
the thing.
say they want unity is what I'm saying, and then they just don't want it with, like, cause think about it, if you got a bunch of black folks living in the hood, how the hell y'all preaching unity and you don't think all of them gonna come together first as a group, then bring their group together like the UN type shit? But
yeah,
that's how it realistically happens. But when they see it happening, they think it's division when it's, it's crazy.
Nah, you saying some real shit, because there's gonna be the people who go against you. Like, so we have to deal with our people too, but not only are we dealing with our people, we dealing with other people who are saying some of the same things that we're saying. So it's a division amongst their people too. It's not just amongst our people.
Because look, Key, you from Arkansas, don't you, talk about the white militias in your state. They've been coming together on some.
Got some white militia down, they motherfucker, they be having rallies and shit, like, KKK type shit, but like I say, I got love for all our people. Even though a lot of our people fucked up in the mind, a lot of shit they be doing when it come to Christianity, when it come to being a Mason, when it come to being NOI, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of.
But all that goes back to the people in power over our people that divided and conquered us and gave us all them pagan foreign minds so we can argue with each other about who white zaddy is the best.
Right.
It's called the hidden hand. You always got to talk about it. You know what I mean? Because they've shown what they can do when they want to build something up. They have Marshall plans. They know exactly what it takes. That's why they don't want to send their kids to our schools, right? Because they know what a school should have. So they're just not providing us what we need. And then the whole pull yourself up by your bootstraps, you can go through a litany of stuff where they getting corporate welfare, the charter schools getting handouts after handout. You see how much money they're giving the immigrants. Nobody is pulling themselves up by their bootstraps. Unfortunately, we the only ones who kind of subscribe to that goofy ideology. And I saw Bro Sanchez breaking it down, with Marquette and others, like, we don't need food stamps, and we'll lean into the welfare queen kind of tropes. But then what is stopping people right now from doing the mutual aid in their system? People will say what we need to do, but it's like, what is stopping you right now? A lot of people have
Well,
more
the
reach than
whole
Malcolm X.
the whole thing about the food stamp, just to put a little clarity on that, the whole debate about that ain't necessarily the food stamp itself. It's the ideology that if you take stuff away from the people who ain't already got shit, they'll go harder. The mentality is niggas is so lazy because you giving them so many handouts that if you take away them handouts, them niggas will do better. And I'm saying, if you look at the statistics, 75% of the people on food stamps still work a job. So the people that's making that argument ain't looking at the statistics. You can't say they on food stamps. Take away the food stamps and they'll not be lazy when military soldiers is on food stamps and they working every day, and they're not realizing that you being a black rich nigga, you're out of touch with what's happening with your own people on the ground, and you don't realize that the food stamps is a subsidy, not a handout. It's because of inflation. It's because the fucking cost of living keep going up, but the wage ain't going up. So the government saying, well, we can help you out. We'll pay for your food. It's subsidizing. You ain't giving me nothing. You're compensating for a problem you created. Inflation.
I'm glad you said that, Sanchez, because a lot of people looking at the food stamp situation, like you said, like people just being lazy, but this shit keep going up. Even people who get food stamps, that don't keep a house full. You know what I'm saying? With food, they still need means of um another means of money or whatever, so they can go out and so they can get more food and shit. Like,
And I know that them statistics is true, Key, because check this out. I was working 2 jobs doing security. I qualified for food stamps still. And I was getting like $150 some a month in food stamps. And guess what? I would spend that like some mornings when I'm going to work and shit. I would get me some shit at 7-Eleven, because 7-Eleven take food stamps. And you can get little breakfast biscuits and shit, whatever. Your little shit make your lunch. Hey, it may sound like a little bit, $150 a month, but hey, if you working already, that comes in handy. God damn it! I'm just saying this.
gotta be working still in most places. So a lot of people who don't work can't even get food stamps in most states. So we
They
ain't even
can, it just ain't gonna be that much. For example, right? If you can probably get, even if it's $30 a month. Now, a person may say that ain't even worth my fucking while or something, or $50, whatever. When you go, I'm just saying, when you go to the food stamp place, they're gonna take what you making and tell you how much you'll get a month. That shit may be $15 a month if you making too much. But I'm saying you may make to a level where they say, no, you can't get them. Remember that the rapper ODB Bastard, Old Dirty Bastard, qualified for food stamps for a minute. And this nigga had record label money.
Hey, so why they keep looking over the fact that mostly white people, I mean, the majority of
It's just that most people that make a lot of money, they ain't gonna go down there and fill that shit out. That's what I'm saying. My bad.
Yeah, and bro, Sanchez, the average amount is only $212 across the entire U.S. population that's getting it. The average is 212 per person, but not everyone is getting that. That's just the average. Like you said, some people is getting $50, $100, and then you saying, man, you don't need that $50. Pull yourself up by your bootstrap. You know what I mean? Like, what is that
And
really
niggas will
called?
take whatever they'll take for free. Like if you tell a dude working 2 jobs and he say, hey man, you qualify for $70 a month. It may not sound like a lot, but they gonna look at it like, well, I am leaving free money on the table. Shit.
Why they even hating though? Why they even just targeting us like we the only ones get the shit though? Like that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Because
Y'all
because
just want to pick on us.
that we do this to each other, bro.
But you know
We
what though? That's like telling a rich man, right, Key, if he walking down the street and he drop $5 by mistake out his pocket, why you bending over picking up that $5? You rich, man. If you drop some money, just leave it on it. Right? You rich, nigga. Why you picking up them 50 cents you just dropped?
right, you know, and then man, we
Not the corporate welfare either, though.
You know.
mind frame that we think just because a person not having a job or because we work so hard. So they creating an atmosphere for us to have these type of thoughts. So when they create the atmosphere for us to have these type of thoughts, when there's not enough jobs for everybody in the first place. Like I'm from Pine Bluff, Arkansas. The population is 50,000. There's only 2,000 jobs available. It's a small town. There's not enough jobs, bro. 2,000 jobs. You know, you only got two grocery stores. You only got one Walmart, two grocery stores. You know what I'm saying? And like 5 different plants. So you may have 5,000 jobs available, but there's 40 to 50,000 people in this place. So these people are creating this atmosphere, just like they creating an atmosphere to where everybody can carry their guns now. They know what the fuck they doing. They gonna create the atmosphere for what to happen. So they talk about all this purge shit or whatever. So I thought a felon wasn't able to carry a gun. So now you telling me now you creating an atmosphere to where a felon can wear his fucking gun? Like this nigga got a record. This nigga crazy. Like we already know this. So why now are we creating an atmosphere where everybody can have their guns out? This is what I'm talking about this overhead, about these people who pushing these agendas and shit like that. So us as people on the bottom, we're not really looking at that. We're looking at what we're looking at for survival. But when they start pushing the goalposts, when they close this way off and now we can't go that way, we can only do what was left for us to do. So then we start getting into these situations
Well,
where shit's happening with these people doing predictive programming, bro. They already know what they're gonna do. They getting
I
our
want to say
information.
one thing. I want to say one thing about the whole EBT snap debate, right? It ain't really about EBT. It's about black people's laziness. It's about take them food stamps away from them niggas and they'll want to work then. But I'm telling folks, if the people who own food stamps are already working, you can't make that argument. But also another thing that I want to game y'all on in the chat room. Whenever someone bring up the food stamp argument with black people, hit them with the real statistics. And guess what they say? This is a fact. White people receive more food stamps than blacks. You heard me right? Now, guess what I'm going to tell y'all? Whenever you debating some conservative far right, oh yeah, I'll pull up my receipts for y'all. This ain't no game. Watch this.
That's what I was just saying.
Keep
That's
receipts.
exactly.
I keep the receipts on deck. Yeah. You chat GPT, like they use chat GPT for everything else. So let me land my plane if I can, right, with these receipts real quick. The thing about the far right conservatives, right? They won't bring up these stats. You gotta bring it up. Now look, when you bring it up, guess what they're gonna say? But white people are the majority of the people in the country. So they should be. I've seen this play out for years, y'all. I've been around YouTube a lot. I'm trying to give y'all the ammo and show you how it's going to play out. Yeah.
Then I'm gonna keep it real with you. A lot of people who consider white people ain't even really white. Arabs is considered white. Indians is considered white. You know, when it comes to the majority type shit as far as white, there's other people who are considered white when you come over here, because you either consider black or white. Like you get a thing to say who you is, but then they take that and they categorize you to whether you black or white off of that. You know what I'm saying? So they
And
will use it, like Sanchez is saying. They'll say,
I'm not using that to make white people seem lazy neither. But see, they're using it to make us seem lazy when it's a subsidy and not a handout, whether it's given to whites or blacks.
"That's right."
What it really proves is that people ain't gonna turn down no goddamn handout, no matter how much money they making. So the fact that white people is the biggest recipient, and we know, and even y'all, we all say that they doing the best and all that. If that's true, then that's my point. That it don't. If you can give a billionaire food stamps, he'll take it. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. If Bill Gates can get food stamps, his greedy ass will take it.
So fucking right, bro. And that's what's going on. Like a lot of people who got businesses and shit like that, a lot of white people who got businesses. When I got into business, I started learning, what how to use a LLC and all this shit for different shit. Like, don't you know you could get a car and all this shit under your business name, and they do certain shit to where you don't gotta pay for it, and this shit that most black people don't know. So when it comes to the food stamps, like a lot of people, then in a lot of states, you gotta work a job to get food stamps. I know this shit because I,
But
I did
yeah,
for people.
and the only thing I'm pointing out is everybody looking for anything that Uncle Sam can hand them in the form of tax breaks, subsidies, and all of that. And when we say food stamps is a subsidy, then you got to look at that like a bailout for the banks. You got to look at that like any other government handout given to any other entity because of a problem that's government created. Now, in the case of the banks and corporations, they get bailed out, and it's their fault that they even made the problem in the first place. We bail them out. In our case, it's not our fault for the problem, and they subsidizing us with pennies. It's crazy.
And not only that, people like Elon Musk, who talks about pulling yourself up by your bootstrap, by the lowest estimate, he received 19 billion, and the highest estimate I seen was 31 billion in government subsidies. So he can fund his own stuff, but he goes the whole SpaceX. He didn't start Tesla, he bought Tesla. So people don't even think about the foundation of Tesla. They just look at the man who wrote the biggest check. But he was propped up, and they'll prop up a South African Afrikaner immigrant more so than even a native born foundational, you know what I mean? But yeah, this was the US government propping them up to the tune of tens of billions. The lowest estimate, 19 billion. It's called subsidies, grants that they don't have to pay back, but they'll say, oh well, he's providing jobs, that he'll go to a town like Memphis where all the AI poisoning the people over there, but it's going to provide some jobs, which he's trying to give it to H-1B visas and immigrants, you know what I mean? And they'll say, you know what? That's enough to justify this subsidy. Meanwhile, you got people crying about people on average getting $200 a month for food stamps.
And basically, what you just said is they gave him our money to do that. The government money was our money.
Yeah, don't nobody in Memphis even work at this shit. Like, so who's the people he even got working for? Because I know plenty of people in Memphis. They don't know nobody.
People. They brought in their own people, a bunch of H-1B visas. So they were flying in people. They built actually small enclaves and towns just for immigrants to work.
And I'm gonna tell you something too, and that's why a lot of people come up and be like, man, they group us all together, so we might as well work together. But the crazy thing, the reason why they grouped us all together is so they can undermine the indigenous people of this land, bro. And that's the thing why we can't just look at that like as a way where we gotta work. Why would they do it? They don't want unity, right? We know they divide and conquering. So they didn't group us all together for just us to get along and have unity, because that's been the powder keg that Malcolm X was talking about. But my whole thing is this right here, right? That will say, well, they group us all together. They do that, man, so that they can have people speak for the indigenous people of the land who ain't indigenous here, and that they can have a hand up their ass. They can be a puppet, like again, like the mayor in Baltimore. Because guess what? People who come over here kissing the ground, they more easily to be controlled and be puppets to the power in the system. And they running already from their own. They showing all the qualities of someone that will sell out to the system. And they come over here, we ain't kissing the ground. We standing up on the ground saying, fuck that, fight the powers that be. And they like, oh, these niggas crazy. You gonna get us killed. You know, like, and they
talk about our birthrights, right? Sanchez, we talk about our birthrights, even with the whole birthright citizenship. They come over here and they're just happy to be here. So they like, man, you niggas need to shut up because y'all making the block high. And we're saying, no, this is our birthright. So we standing up for and demanding what we're owed. And they just like, man, shut up. Let us take these handouts that y'all keep crying about.
But you know what's crazy? When they say we making a block hot, everything they enjoying is because of us pushing back and doing what we doing, which is the crazy part.
They just know people to come over here to scam us. That's how they scam us, bro.
They get
the
money back.
People will be like, black people complaining. Nigga, if we wouldn't complain, and you wouldn't have none of these freedoms you enjoy.
Right. Remember, they had quotas on immigration. They didn't want any black immigrants over here. It was for us that was stomping and saying that having these quotas is unconstitutional. And now they saying, well, y'all ain't never did nothing for us. They truly believe that the W man wanted them over here because they were simply better than us.
They doing, they coming over here and they sending money back home. So now that's what they realizing right now. Like, damn, they coming over here getting all this money. These people coming over here being first class citizens, and they sending all this money back home. So they get to redeem themselves after they run away from home and shit. And then now they coming over here under the guise of that they one of us type of shit. But once they done solidified themselves, look at the lady over in Minnesota. They done did so much corrupt shit that, you know, like a lot of people don't want to, you know, feel Trump sentiment with this shit. But I'm saying, man, get them motherfuckers up out of here, because they done came over here, bro. She married her brother to get her brother over here. They done made billions of dollars and shit. And they got her on tape saying that she don't give a damn about black people or America. She care about Somalia type of shit. So this is the type of shit that we dealing with. We got people coming over here robbing us for our heritage, bro. Because she coming under the guise that she one of us, and she making all this money and that she one of us, but at the end of the day, she's sending money back home, and then now she don't give a fuck about niggas in America. You know what I'm saying? It's all about she got smoke for America type of shit now that she got her money up. But what was that smoke when you came over here hungry and helpless type of shit? You understand what I'm saying? This is what we dealing with. When we got
like another thing is, yeah, go ahead, my bad.
Oh, I was just gonna say one thing, right? They use them, bring them over here, right? Give them the money, then they scam them out of the money on the backside. So that's how they totally scamming, and it's untraceable there. But go ahead.
And I was just gonna say about the what the bro was talking about. It's called remittances, and anyone could look this up. Last year in the U.S., the remittances is people that are immigrants and the money that's sent back to their home country. It's estimated over 450 billion with the B just last year alone. Mexico just alone had 62.5 billion in remittances. So that's why they love for undocumented immigrants to come over here, because they can exploit them for cheap labor. But even that cheap labor that they're getting paid is stretches a lot further in their home country. So these other countries are fueling their entire economy and GDP off of the illegal and underhanded labor. You know what I mean? So yeah, those remittances is in the hundreds of billions. And that's why Trump was talking about taxing them, you know, to whatever exorbitant rate, you know what I mean? So he can recoup some of that money, because that doesn't help us, right? It doesn't matter if they from Brazil, Nigeria, Venezuela, if they come over here and they get our tax dollars to set up shop, and then we patronize their business, and then they send it back to that country that's anti-black that you can't go and immigrate to and get nothing from. How is that helping you? Because they made you a taco, or they braided your hair, or did some nails or something like that. So we got to be thinking a lot bigger than this thing.
Hey, the rest of the world is poor, and this is the pot. Everybody come and get their hand in the pot to take it out. The rest of the world
call it the American dream. As advanced as China is, why it ain't nothing called the Chinese dream? Japan is a pretty nice place, right?
You know why? Because
dream.
you know why? Because China's so ahead of everybody that by the time they have a dream, is manifested the next day. So
bingo.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, they eating our lunch right now as much, and it's crazy though, because I it's idiotic when our politicians, they'll say I think Biden was calling the dude a dictator. Trump was calling Xi Jinping a dictator. They'll say China is our greatest threat. And then everybody, I challenge y'all, go look at a bunch of stuff in your house and see where it's made. If it ain't China, it's Malaysia or Mexico or something. It's overwhelmingly China. And then they saying, y'all are enemy. But when the C-19 hit, where was we getting all those masks and toilet paper and stuff? From China and Mexico, mainly China. The fentanyl, they'll blame China for the fentanyl, but how you selling out your country? Like, we'll excuse the fentanyl, but we'll let them make TVs, cars, everything else. They're Chinese electric cars blowing Elon Musk out the window. The reason why they don't have a market out here, because Trump did like 100% tariff. So like it would be kind of pointless. The price is so outlandish, but just in terms of for spec, blowing Teslas out the water for like anywhere from 10 to 13K. Meanwhile, you looking at a Tesla, you looking at upwards of 30K for just the starter. So yeah, you know what I mean? China is idiotic to say they're our greatest enemy, but still begging them, you know, for their slave sweatshop labor.
All that's a mind game anyway. Check it out, because remember, they've been attacking us since the 1400s. All of them attacked us from every area. So they playing like they the enemy, and that's what the people think, but they all just, they ganging up on us, man.
They all, bro, like the brother just, so this shit that we get is made in China. So Trump be saying that bullshit, but it really sounds stupid at this point when Trump keeps saying China, Chinese, that's, bro, he in cahoots with these people. He fucking around with them, because China make too much technological shit. So we keep falling for.
They making our computer.
You got a lot of businesses over there too. Hey, but I gotta shut down, unfortunately, man. I got to get my ass up out of here. And but yeah, be on the lookout for the next one. We came and held it down, man, for the team. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm going to be early on the next one, hopefully. But yeah, peace and much love to everybody. Appreciate all of the support to the people who supported the show. We out.
Salute.
Hey, thanks, bro. Appreciate you.